handful of presenters, a mass of microphones, and a whole load of talk. This is TigerTails Radio.
And good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and welcome to another delightful, delectable, and otherwise entertaining episode of TigerTails Radio. I'm your host, TK, and joining me in the studio, we have a Fearless.
Oh, yeah. Pick on me because I'm not quite ready yet.
Yep, totally. I'm not ready either, don't worry. And we also have an Angel Dark Song.
Hello.
And if all's gone according to plan, there should be a Xavier.
Is there a Xavier?
Oh, fucking hell, he's quiet.
There is a Xavier.
There's a really, really quiet Xavier.
Is there a Xavier? Am I loud? Am I quiet? What the hell's going on?
This is what happens when you take them out of their natural habitat. They just don't breed.
Up your volume, laptop boy.
Up my volume.
I may be a while joining in with the hearing Pete thing because
I tangled off all of his headphones and then plugged them in.
You're an
I
awesome.
wondered why I was looking up Gordian knot on WikiHow.
What are you doing, you strange people?
We can't hear you, Pete. You're so emaciatedly quiet.
I have no idea why I'm quiet. Hang on.
Just say emaciatedly quiet.
Yeah.
Does it withdraw nourishment from all who hear it?
Hang on, is that any better?
Yeah,
Yep,
that's a bit better.
A lot better.
Oh, god damn it.
Yeah, we can hear you now. It's a bit. Is this back music really loud once?
It's moderately. I'd say it's probably a 40% out of 100%.
It sounds pretty quiet to me.
Only because you've not got your headphones in, boy.
Uh,
Yeah, so the gang is all back together again at last in your ears. And if you're watching the YouTube feeds, on the YouTube, except for the Pete, who's obviously not in the studio because he's in our satellite studio in the middle of nowhere where all the old people go to die.
Old people,
Yes.
wait, Shady Oaks or Restful Pines?
both.
Oh.
Shady Pines.
Resty Oaks.
Why are you two the Bobsy twins again? For the love of God.
I would like to point out that I always wear a red shirt on Monday.
And I'm
Always.
typically found wearing a red shirt and a black waistcoat, usually with the sleeves rolled up.
It's like your mum dresses the pair of you for that special occasion.
Aww.
You're just jealous that you don't have this sort of
My mum.
connection. Well, that too.
Wait, this could easily go in a 100 horrible different directions.
All at the
Yeah,
same
mate.
time.
Yay!
Dear YouTube, we are streaming. Why the fuck don't you show the fact we're streaming on my video feed subscriptions list? You piece of shit.
Not mine.
Wop, wop, wop.
Reasons.
Yeah, utterly.
I like the sudden appearance of certain bits and pieces as well. Like light and everything else.
How do you mean?
We have no light in here.
Well,
Felix illuminated himself with his laptop.
Okay.
I am self-illuminating.
I will tell.
has nobody turned the light on yet?
No.
Genie eye.
Easily
No,
go in
I
a
know.
horrible.
God, the YouTube feed's got a fucking horrible noise on it.
Better not tangle these up as soon as I leave. I swear to Doge.
It's the cables. It's the cables.
No, he lost. He has to do it.
Yeah.
He lost.
But TK has helpfully offered.
TK, he lost.
No, TK wants to do it fancy like. with awesome close up. Hey, first time!
I was just quickly checking over my Twitter, and Ed Boon had tweeted, "You can't tell from the video, but in Kano's commander variation, he fights without underwear on."
Oh my god.
Because of the whole Mortal Kombat 3 different styles.
Yeah, I think
Because the whole
worst
commando,
thing is the fact
no
that
pants.
Kano survived.
Yep. Hey, the guy's got cybernetics.
Oh, that's what they're calling him now, is it?
He is Deathlock.
Yeah, something.
He is so not Deathlock.
I need to get on my
But he is an
first.
honorary member of Death Clock, so. Yay.
What? Oh, that's my hand. There's a stick.
Yes.
First
Oh
time.
Jesus.
Oh god, the one person who watches Adult Swim got the joke.
So you.
No, it's. Oh, we're going, or something else.
Yeah,
Deathlock.
don't worry.
Which one?
It'll all turn out in the wash.
No.
Pete, you're still really, really quiet. Can you up your volume at all?
He sounds alright through
I'm not
mine.
entirely sure. Hang on. I'll fiddle.
Yes, have
he
a
is
fiddle.
a fairly good volume through mine.
No, he's quite quiet for me. I can
It's
hear the
your
rest.
headphones.
I can hear the rest of us fine. It's just Pete.
Excuse
It's your
me.
sodding headphones.
Hang on. Let's do something that'll probably
You've
break
got lovely
everything.
bouncy bars for me.
I've no idea if that'll help, but you there, Pete?
I'm here. For God's sake.
Yeah, made it worse.
Yeah. Oh.
Great
Ignore
job
the
fixing it, hero.
Yeah, shut up. Yeah, I've done everything I can. No, Pete, it's got to be at your end now. You're as max as I can get you at our end.
Let me speak then.
That whole silence was dedicated for you to speak.
Yeah, I know.
Notice your lack of speaking.
I am speaking.
Oh, now? Well, you're still way quieter than the rest of us. And this is what we enjoy.
Bloody headphones.
The first 20 minutes of the show is us breaking things. In my headphones, I get a rough approximation of what the feed on the podcast is. No one listens to the YouTube feed because of that horrible buzzy crap noise on it that I can't get rid of due to the PC we broadcast on being shit in that respect.
Wait, is it the PC itself causing the noise, or is it something
Yes.
in the lines?
Well, it does it whether you actually plug into the PC or if you go via USB. So it seems to be.
Wait, the USB, you shouldn't even be getting any of the buzz from it.
I think it's coming from the power supply. I think that is massively interfering with something somewhere.
Do you wait to buy a Behringer Hum destroyer at some point? See if that helps out.
It might
'Cause
do.
they are actually very inexpensive.
It's not so much of a hum as a squeak. I mean, if I unmute the YouTube feed, no one listens to the YouTube feed because that was
The beeping.
yeah, that noise. That high-pitched, annoying squeal that I just can't get rid of because of the PC itself. Yeah, I have no idea what to do about it, apart from burn it. But it's not my decision.
I'll check my Amazon list and see how much it is at the moment.
I don't even know if that'd fix it. You see, some people recommend using a USB audio thing.
Yeah, you're
running it through a powered USB hub, because that would then act as a filter. So I tried that, and it still didn't make any fucking difference.
well, usually the last time I used to get buzz like this on my recordings was when I was still using the analog equipment that jacked straight into the mic in on my, or the line in on my laptop at the time.
That's because it was taking audio interference from the motherboard and the power supply and all that bullshit.
Oh, yeah, there we go. It used to be about 30 quid. It's now about 15 quid for one.
Oh, even better. It might work. We never know that. I'll get one next payday.
But it's probably been updated since then.
I should hope so. But that might fix the problem. I don't know. Depends how it works. But it should be interesting. But yes, moving on.
Interesting.
Now we've spent 9 minutes breaking things as opposed to the customary 20.
Yeah, we'll cut down.
Mr. Angel Dark Song, how has your week been?
I knew this question was coming.
Yeah, it comes every week. It's like the freight train.
Who would have thunk it, right?
Oh, channel's flashing.
Um,
Hello, people in channel.
I have not kept up on channel. Where's channel?
Week has been okay. There hasn't really been much happening. I went to London last Saturday.
There are
just 2 days
pictures to
ago.
prove it.
Yes, there were. There were pictures of Alex with a smile and a stick.
Rare moments I was smiling. No, I was pretty happy that day. I did get pissed off once, but it was fine.
The rare moments he was winning.
No. I impulse brought a Vita, and I say I impulse brought a Wii U, but but it's like pre-ordered, but depending on if a new one comes, like if a cheap one comes out or not in a month's time.
So
I
you
might
might
buy it.
cancel your Wii U order.
Yeah, but it's like it only stocks in a month's time, but it's like £200, so it's like really cheap.
Not bad.
Seriously, don't bother with a Wii U.
Well, there's
Seriously, fuck you, Smash Brothers, Wonderful 101, Bayonetta 2.
You've got the theme tune from 101 just stuck in your head forever, haven't you?
I was
haven't
going to
even heard
say,
it.
Smash Brothers, we can give you the
The ones I have to show
GameCube
you.
disc. Seriously.
I have Melee
Well then, what do you need the other one for?
because it's really shiny, and I want to buy.
Oh,
I want to buy an amiibo.
It's got pretty graphics. It's going to have a shit gameplay if they fucked it up again.
Nah, it's apparently it's good. Apparently, the gameplay is decent. There is some stuff missing from a competitive standpoint. It will be okay, but that depends because
It's on the Wii U.
a lot of the Smash players only like Melee, and Brawl is just shit game, so they didn't move to it. But even if this game is like slightly okay, like they probably will just go, no, we will play Melee because we prefer Melee, which is fair enough. It's just a bit, they should at least give it a chance. As long as they give it a chance, I really don't give a shit what people's opinions are because they've tried.
Give
There's
bros a
logic.
chance.
I am of the sound opinion that you can't say anything until you've tried it, which is why I watch crap, just so I can say to people, I've watched it, it is crap.
Hey, I've seen The Room without the aid of Mystery Science Theater, guys.
I'm
behind you 100%.
I've seen the live-action Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles TV series.
I willingly watched
By
half
Saban.
of Bono's Spider-Man Turn Off the Dark.
Only
What
half of
surprises me even
Quitter.
more is that somebody actually bothered to pirate that thing.
Somebody had to.
It's terrible.
It's like 2 Girls, 1 Cup. Somebody had to pirate that. That
After a
somebody-
while, you so didn't.
I totally did. I didn't watch it, but I had some workmates who did. They didn't know they were watching it, I must admit. I basically...
How do they not know that they are watching it?
Well,
It's pretty obvious what it is when you're watching it.
yeah, 2 Girls, 1 Cup, the kind of the short clip we know is actually a trailer
Is
for
actually,
a longer
yeah.
video. So I downloaded that longer video, and then burnt it to a DVD, and then handed it to my workplace, my workmate, to my previous job, and said, some of my college friends who didn't know I was gay thought I might like this. Apparently it's hot girl-on-girl action. They thought I might like it. But obviously
Yeah.
I'm gay, you're not, so I thought I'd pass it along. Have a watch, see what you think. So they did.
And it's like, oh, no, that's terrible. Get out of here. Go on. Scat.
Oh, very funny. It was actually
I
quite
can
funny.
feel the murder coming from my right here.
Apparently they started off kind of like, because both of them watched it at the same time, in the same room, which is kind of weird. Why do straight people get together to watch porn?
Totally hetero.
Yeah, what is that?
I would like to say that
I have been asked by a friend before, like, if we're all just like jerking off whilst watching porn. It's not gay, is it? I was like,
No.
Not sure. Grey area.
yeah.
Gay area.
I would like to mention that that is not actually the majority of men. I don't think
They're
majority
not-
is straight men.
Not that I know. It's
don't
just
know.
it's Portsmouth, okay.
It does seem to be a popular thing
Yeah.
with straight guys to gather together to watch porn.
I'm actually kind of surprised because
thing, for
Portsmouth
some
is actually the lesbian capital of the United Kingdom, as far as I remember.
Yeah, but straight people like watching a lot of men.
You do spend a lot of time seeing a man's penis.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you do.
From what I hear, like 80% of any given porno these days is a close-up of just a
Dick.
penis going in places.
It's a thrusting dick. Yeah.
Yeah.
When we tried to pirate Disney's Brother Bear, we got a file called Brother Bear by Disney. Turned out to be Nice Rack Volume 3.
Ah, so much better than the Mexican porn I kept getting.
Yeah, but it's $35 worth of porn. And it's like, okay. But at first, we were wondering what the fuck this was. And so we sat there watching it for 5 minutes going, maybe the film will start when the porn finishes.
Only gay.
No, that's
We were naive in those days.
that's more blind optimism than I've experienced from TK in the last 9 decades.
I would like to say
Hey,
that
this was about... When was Brother Bear new out? This was a while ago.
This was a while ago, yeah.
I was still in the Flat and Waterloo Road that long ago.
Yep.
Oh, and we remember the Mexican porn story, don't we?
no.
No. Okay.
Some of us
When
are young.
Doom came out, I was on.
I was a kid,
LimeWire.
College.
still sucking my thumb.
This was after Morpheus and Napster and everything else went down, and LimeWire was king of peer-to-peer sharing.
I think I actually might have been 11.
I hated LimeWire. It was shite and full of bloatware and spyware.
Dial-up.
Yeah, but I wanted to watch Doom, which had just come out at the cinemas.
Oh, God.
Yeah,
Why?
I'm sorry because I had the book, and the book was actually fairly well done.
Because
Okay.
this is before we all knew how bad it was.
Yeah. So I spent, quite a while on a very shitty connection downloading it. And I eventually loaded it up, and the thumbnail was there, and it was like, the red-tinted Warner Brothers thing that they were doing for the
Yeah.
Doom movie. And it was like the whole intro to Doom, it's like everybody in the bunks and everything, and then they go, and they go into the helicarrier, and suddenly it does a really nice George Lucas dissolve fade into this Mexican porn movie.
Nice.
And I was like, oh, click, click, click. The rest of Doom is nowhere to be found. And then a couple of years later, I want to watch, it's either Batman Begins or Dark Knight Rises. Dark Knight Rises.
Was the Dark Knight Rising?
No,
Probably Batman
whatever the
Begins.
second one was. One was Joker. That was
Oh.
just the Dark Knight, wasn't it?
Dark Knight, right? Yeah, Dark Knight.
Yeah, that was just
Yeah.
Dark Knight. It's either one of those two. And I spent all night downloading this thing. That's like the opening. It's like, yes, it's Batman. I'm Batman. And then again, 20 minutes in, the same Lucas Desolfade. The same fucking Mexican porn movie. And bear in mind, your average access to equipment back then, how long would it have taken to remix the movies to do this to people over and over again?
Actually, not that hard.
Just the time to take to remix it all, really.
And if they were that adamant to troll, that would have been nothing to them.
Mm.
So, yeah, surprisingly easy. But yeah, we actually Googled
But
Nice
to
Volume
spend
3.
2 years doing this.
Yeah, worth it.
I reckon they just were very aware that you were the one person doing that, so...
Knowing my luck, probably.
Yeah.
I'm totally not Googling Nice Volume 3 DVD to see if it's still available.
3K.
Volume 6 is out, holy shit. Volume 15's out. Oh, jeez. Totally not going there.
Jesus, I'm interested in...
I don't wonder how much it's
Fearless, how was your week?
See if it's depreciated in value.
Week. You're not bad,
Yeah, it's
man.
fine.
What were you doing that required that amount of coughing?
Batman.
Exaggerating.
Let's check.
For comic effect. Man, I love the proximity effect. No, my week was actually some bitching about the housemaid that you've likely all seen on their Facebooks.
Yes, we did.
Ordering new studio equipment, which is in the UK now, by the way. It's
not-
finally been released from customs.
Now you're just going to get hit by the charges.
No, it's covered.
You say that.
I say that, but there's no way they can actually charge for it.
Say that.
You say that.
Yeah.
No, I say that.
You'll wait and see.
But it's thanks to my irregular voice coach that I managed to get a nice piece of equipment for so much less than it would have cost if I hired it from Toman.de. Who, while actually fairly priced for all their musical stuff, still would have cost me 150 plus postage and packaging instead of 111 including.
Woo. Damn.
Yeah. It's actually quite nice. It's a thing that came out earlier on this year called the Chaotica Eyeball.
Mm-hmm.
And it is essentially a massive acoustical foam windsock style thing.
Mm-hmm.
You insert your microphone through the elasticated anus,
Yeah.
and it fits in snugly, and it's got a nice little cone to channel everything in. So the idea behind it is that it's meant to isolate the microphone from some of the rest of the noise, channel any sound that's being projected to it straight into the microphone, thus increasing the gain slightly,
Yep.
and make all recording sound consistent, regardless of
and
change
nice.
in... Yeah,
Although
And
I
I
find
thought-
the compressor will do that job far better.
probably. But it's always best if you need extra gain to have it from the source rather than, adding it on later.
Oh no, the compressor will basically take all the sound and kind of normalize it to a point.
Oh,
So
yeah,
I
but
can move slightly further away and slightly closer, and there's no huge change in how the sound I'm making.
Oh, no, it's just a case of not your personal sound, it's the room sound.
Oh, that okay.
Yeah. And it's another one of those things where the more you can mitigate before it goes through your signal chain,
Yes.
the so much better it is.
Oh, so much better.
Oh.
TigerTails Radio. We love talking technical bullshit.
We
Yeah, that's
haven't
because-
talked much technical bullshit for a while, actually.
And we've actually been researching this shit and learning it to try.
Yeah,
and
I've
create a
been
much better audio experience.
I've been trying to improve things on my end of things and actually start getting content back out again.
Because a decent
Yes.
recording area will make all the difference between some really kind of shitty audio sound.
Yeah, that's why I'm
and
hoping
one
to.
quite nice, clean one.
And once I've got that done, that cuts down something. However, my room is very, very reverby. So
This room is terrible for it.
I'm going to be asking the landlord if I can slap some acoustic tiles on 2 of the walls just to stop the reflections from bouncing around so much.
Really? Do you think
Yeah.
he'll let you?
Well, he should. He gets most of his money from studio stuff, surprisingly. The houses are just where he's invested that money. That's why he's not the best of landlords. It's a hobby.
I see.
And I've been a good tenant.
You have?
I've always paid.
Eventually.
And I'm willing to pay for anything that needs to be done to the room after I've taken the phone down.
That could be expensive.
Not really. It'd be at the most a recoat of paint.
Well, how are you going to attach it to the wall?
Spray adhesive, probably.
Okay.
It's only acoustical foam. It's not going to weigh that much. It's not going to need much to keep it on the wall.
Depends how thick the acoustic foam is you get.
It's your standard ridge tiles.
Okay, so max 2-inch.
Yeah, about that.
Cool.
Yeah, and I can buy a pack of 20 of those for about 30 quid.
That's not bad.
That's not bad at all.
He only needs one alpaca.
Aha! That was a lamer joke.
Yes. Yes, it was.
Yeah, apart from that, the other half of the week, apart from ordering new things, has been spent getting into the Night Vale.
Yeah.
After years of hearing about it. Well, about a year.
Is that the radio?
Yeah, that's the podcast, and it's the one that everybody goes. The challenge is trying to explain it to your friends, because it's very, very hard to explain what the fuck this is.
Oh, I looked on the site after all the kerfuffle about them kind of showing and then going at not Pathcon, wrong con, Dashcon.
Yeah.
And it just seems to be like a kind of a horror podcast
It's a horror
story.
comedy. The
Yeah.
comedy is the horror. It's
It's like a radio
the whole
play.
town. It's if H.P. Lovecraft made the Stepford town. Is the best way I can describe it.
Right.
And the whole thing is, community radio in this town.
One question.
Yes.
What's the Stepford town?
You know the Stepford Wives?
No.
The thing where it's like the perfect little suburbia place. And everybody's happy and smiles because actually all the wives are being replaced with robots.
Okay. But no, I didn't.
And in the movie, which is
Oh,
kind of
there's a
shitty,
movie?
but they do a really good twist on the movie in which it's not the wives being replaced, it's the husbands.
Dun-dun-dun.
Dun dun dun.
Drama. Dramas and things.
Yeah. But it's strangely hypnotic. Oh, DJ in channel goes, think of it as a cross between NPR and the Twilight Zone. Which also really fits.
I know the Twilight Zone. What's NPR?
NPR. Blah, brain. It's another public access radio-y style thing. Very professional and dry. And
So I'm guessing the PR stands for public radio.
yes.
DJ, elucidate with the brains. Make with the explanations.
The thing is,
What
you're
if do our work for us?
you're constantly comparing it to something. Just imagine X and Y.
Yeah,
Like,
and the
so-and-so
problem is
meets
that it
so-and-so.
seems that most X's he doesn't know, whereas I know all of the X's, and my god, is this just something at my love life or something?
No, I mean
know
that you
all
should
of
never
the-
explain something by saying, "Oh, it's like so and so
Yeah,
meets so and so." You should always explain it rather than say, "Oh, it's
It's like
But
horror
the problem
meets
is most
comedy.
of us.
that you can get away with because that's a
Horror
genre.
comedy again.
You can't
Ulysses X's.
you can't say something like it's like this show meets this show.
Well, usually we try to compare two like things and try to get across.
It's like
gist of
TigerTails
something.
Radio mixed with competency. Oh wait, that podcast doesn't exist.
So mostly listen to that and then helping Celine get ready to move to her new home.
That's not what you
because-
told me on Facebook. You told me quite the opposite.
Ooh.
I was acting in a supervisory capacity.
You told me that you were being more of a distraction and getting her to do web codey things.
Oh, I did that as well. I relaunched the website. Oh, you're just trying to get me to talk about things that I've done. How dare you, sir?
No.
How dare you during the things as what we done segment.
Haha, I know, right? Check me out and my kind of reverse psychology thing.
I did spend an evening agonizing over all of the free themes on WordPress. Because I'm poor. Because I spent money on other things. And eventually I
doesn't?
found one that I like. It has really, really nice font. It's just that the color scheme I don't like. So I stuck with it, because damn, that's a nice font.
Yeah. But you have to pay money if you want to change the colour.
Yeah, and I
Or
actually
just
am.
hack the shit out of the CSS, one of the two.
I actually am debating just paying the one-off £15 fee to get the colours, the schemes unlocked, or just paying the £5 a month to have the full package.
Green giant.
See, Pete, when you grow up and do internety things, you'll learn of all these hassles as well.
You actually think I am going to do all the internet things?
One day.
One day,
No.
maybe.
Perhaps. WordPress is actually a lot easier than I gave it credit for. It's hard, don't get me wrong, it's a pain in the dick. But it looked a lot more daunting when I was first setting it up, but now, like the widgets and throwing shit around,
I
it's
used to
simple.
use it's a FreeWebs clone. It's all these websites .tk.
Oh yes.
And the previous the previous reviews website that I had,
Yep.
that run on a very locked down CSS that I had to learn to hack to get around the things I wanted to do.
What annoys me about CSS is that it's supposed to be this big universal thing, and yet everyone's CSS is so completely different. And you're sat there going, wait, what the fuck, what? How are you supposed to teach yourself this? This is stupid. It's like, everyone's is
It's like, for
different.
fuck's sake, why did all this stuff have to be done after Evie left?
Yeah, that's a good point. I actually,
How's your week been?
in the previous lifetime of the TigerTails Entertainment sites before the web host closed, I actually gave Evie administratory access to the entire network so she could go in there and poke around and make shit work properly. Because I didn't have a fucking clue. Like, Evie,
Well-
here's a login, make magic happen.
I
She was brilliant. She did.
distracted Celine from all of her packing up because she has done WordPressy things before. Her personal,
Yeah.
her portfolio website is actually, Celine Edouard, Celine.com or something like that. And she's had to work with WordPress and getting around everything before. The main problem that I'm going to be facing soon is that I still want to continue using SoundCloud for hosting because it's easy
Wow, my fan is really loud.
and I can cross-link everywhere.
Well, this is why I use, for the TigerTails Radio podcast, I use the database thing, the Internet
Yeah,
Archive
the
database.
Internet Archive because it's free. However,
It's free and it's useful. And
some platforms don't like the hot linking from the Internet Archive. I don't know why.
well, I found WordPress gets away with it. I don't know about WordPress.
It does, but
'cause
previously I had the download buttons, little
yeah,
noir robot button for the download on my things. That links directly to the MP3 file on the Internet Archive.
yeah.
The Vita and a few other machines, a couple of other tablets that I tried it on, skitched the fuck out when they tried to download it.
Really?
Yeah. There's like massive timeouts or sudden crashing.
He says, getting his Vita out.
I don't have it on me today, I don't think.
I do.
Haha!
TK,
I
how
will.
was your week been?
Pardon, Pete? You're really quiet.
Oh, for the love of God, how has your week been?
My week's not been too bad. Mostly filled with work. And then when I wasn't working, on the Friday, I vegetated. On the Wednesday, I chased trains. That was fun. On the Friday, I vegetated. On the Saturday, I did some more vegetating. And then on the Sunday, you came round and we vegetated and then went to roleplay.
Is somebody playing Bejeweled?
No?
No, it's just TK loading up his Vita. I love the background music on the Vita.
Ah.
It's nice.
Nice and relaxing.
It is. It really is.
So you've had a lovely weekend of just...
Doing absolutely fuck all and enjoying every moment of it. I did so much fuck all, very deliberately. This was going to be a quiet, peaceful weekend.
He says as background noise fills the world.
I'm busy, fuck off.
Well, my week, since no one asked, has not been too bad. Work,
Hang on, Pete.
busy.
Pete.
Yep.
How's your week?
Not too bad. I've changed teams over the weekend because we had a big.
You're now gay.
Oh ho ho!
If TK hadn't gotten there, I would have moments later.
I
Wow.
hate you all.
Well, of course,
To the pun.
of course TK would get there first.
Because he's gay.
He is very pent up.
It's true.
Yeah.
I'm actually
So
bursting
yeah,
for
there's
weed.
been a lot of moving around in desks.
I wouldn't normally do that, but okay.
My laptop has finally been fixed.
Hurrah!
Hey!
Huzzah.
So I am quite happy that I now actually have a working computer.
I see your point, Felix. It does skits out.
I told you so. That's why I wanted to go to SoundCloud. We're sorry, Pete.
No, you're not. You are so not.
It's true.
All of
Keep-
you are sat
I'm-
there with your handheld devices.
Excuse me,
clicking.
my handheld device is nowhere near my hands. It's there on the arm. You can see it.
Not the
Keep-
coffee mug, however.
Keep talking so that we can talk over you.
I hate you all.
No, really, please go on.
So, good week. I've been watching The Mentalist. As in, like, all of it, nearly.
In one go.
Well, I'm currently on season 2. Yeah, season 2.
Isn't it like in more seasons than that now? Or?
Yeah, because this is me catching up with the download.
Oh,
I've
so
already
you're
done.
planning to watch all of it.
Yeah, yeah. I've not got a computer. All I have is my portable hard drive with all my TV series and a TV to play it on. That's it.
Have you got a TV capable of doing that?
I've got a TV that's capable of playing it, yes. Run USBs. Brilliant.
That's okay then. Yeah,
Well, what's the
my
problem?
sister had a DVD player that was actually quite awesome at doing the same.
So
Even
I've
handled
been-
MKV.
Ooh. Ah, hello.
Nice, except for the rain.
Wow, the Express finally got something right. Go, gadget, broken clock gambits.
I found a way to boost Pete's volume. We should be able to hear him now.
Why? What did you do?
I
I
moved some things.
think he bounced the graviton particle beam off the main deflector dish, crossed the streams, and then reversed the polarity.
You
Yeah.
mean he twiddled the knob for my volume?
No.
No, the things I did, they sounded so much more sciencey.
And they were pretty close.
Those are the three things that will fix almost anything in any given science disaster.
Jolly good. Yeah, so the weekend's not been too bad. Mostly it's just been chilling out, avoiding the rain, and just enjoying a nice time, and actually managing to get some roleplay done.
Yeah. Unlike
Which was
next week, right, Pete?
Yeah, next weekend I'm not here, practically.
Does that mean there's no roleplay next week?
No roleplay next weekend.
Okay. I'm not going to Florian's then.
No,
Oh, so I could have scheduled a meet for a Sunday.
Just
Bastards.
you could have, but I'm not even sure if he would have
This
went
once. Just
for
this
it.
once.
Here's TK starting going, oh my god, you've actually managed to magically make something happen on a day I can do a thing.
Yeah.
I like you.
Yeah.
So when are you down, Pete?
I'll be down on the Friday still.
Cool. I may not be here for a lot of the Saturday. I don't know. I'm getting picked up and taken to Ringwood apparently. Yay!
Well, worst comes to worst, I just spend the weekend with Julia. So
Aha. So is Sunday Julia Day?
yeah, Sunday's Julia Day because she's then on holiday the week after.
Okay, fair enough. That makes sense. There's like logic and shit going on here. I don't understand. I don't get it. People are like being sensible when hello. Oh, studio.
Oh, right.
He found Rafiki, I see.
Have we been broadcasting without studio?
Behind this microphone is some struggle.
My god, the light reflecting off of his
Face?
tablet from my monitor just made the Samsung tablet just look holy.
Ah ha ha ha.
Ah. Yeah, for fuck's sake, TK.
What?
You knew that put it in our heads. You knew it.
Just got through that section as well.
What, the bit where they play the Hymn of the Faith? That's not narrowing it down much.
I know. No, I mean, I want to call him Sycamore. That's not his name. Seymour, even.
Seymour.
Has just proposed to Lady Una. And so
Yeah.
she's like, we must go to the far plane.
Lady Una, let's go.
Via the lightning corridor.
No, they've been to the far plane already. Lightning Corridor's next.
I just call him the
You're
Grand
in it.
Almighty Twink, because that's what he is.
And it's like, if you call for Jack, he won't come because he's not dead. And it's like, yeah, we know. That's because he's sin, you stupid tart. You wait till you figure that shit out. Oh, well. And that's not a spoiler. You learned that very early on in the game.
You do. Oh, here you go, TK. I better
'Cause most of the game
IRC
is then-
you my acoustic foam thing.
Oh, cool. Thank you. Most
He's
of the-
sending you his phone.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I'm going to look at it. And I'm going
Because there's
to
always one
want
person
it.
who tries to examine the liquids after they've been produced.
Totally
It's like
isn't me.
gaming news, right?
That's not gaming. That's just gross. I know, I do it.
Gaming news.
That's a subtle hint. Shall we ignore it, boys and girls?
Now it's time for the latest gossip from the Silicon Grid. This is the gaming news.
I've got to bring up all my headlines.
Oh, God, go do stuff. Ah!
Oh my god, a thing and a what's it and a do down a bar!
Alright, I'll start off then. Sleeping Dogs Definite Edition confirmed for PC, Xbox One, and PlayStation 4.
What
Yay!
The
does that even
cold.
mean?
Huh?
What the hell does that even mean?
Oh,
Definitely.
It means it's going to have all the stuff so far until they release yet another version.
I think it's definitive, but I fudged up because I can't see properly.
That was one of my
Um,
headlines, actually.
Yeah, well, I'm going to go into it. Yep, there's been a confirmed port for the cult hit Sleeping Dogs. Sleeper hit. It will feature all 24 DLC packs of the game, including Year of the Snake, Nightmare at North Point, Wheels of Fury. Don't hit me. Oh, he's not hit me. Okay. It'll be released on the 10th of October in Europe. We actually receive it before America. Oh, Jesus.
Oh my god. For headline things, do you miss trying to buy all of the properties in Assassin's Creed 2 so you can actually get some fucking income? If you do, Assassin's Creed Monopoly will be coming out in Europe very soon.
Mortal Kombat X has revealed Kano. As we were talking about it earlier. Yeah, well, it's still relevant. We were talking about leaked. It's now been confirmed that he's in it. Which, you know, because leaked and confirmed are completely separate things. So you can make fake leaks and whatever. So yeah, Kano's joined the cast now.
Yay.
Hence the commando joke earlier.
Hurrah.
Barrel rolls at you. Hooray.
If you're tired of playing Cookie Clicker, you can now play Particle Clicker from all those fine people at CERN.
What?
Right. Think of it as a Large Hadron Collider version of Cookie Clicker, made by the people who run the Large Hadron Collider.
Hang on, I'm certain.
I put it in channel, Pete.
Wow.
Particle clicker. Holy shit. They've even created a walkthrough.
I know. Those sciencey types are just so great. A Resident Evil TV series is in the works. This has been a rumor that's been going around for about a week or so, but it's now been officially confirmed.
Why?
The project is currently titled Arklay, which, if you remember the original game, is The Forest, and will follow Detective James Reinhardt of the Raccoon City Police Department as he investigates a series of bizarre but gruesome murders. During the investigation, he will uncover a sinister conspiracy that connects the murders to experiments of the Umbrella Corporation.
And zombies.
Are
Let's be
you-
honest,
are
that's pretty much how it's going to go. And zombies.
Yeah. Blah.
Oh.
Oh, do you want to come with
I
anything?
guess
or?
I'll follow up with Square Enix and Remember Me developer team up for a brand new game. It seems that the Square Enix or Squeenix, whatever, and developer Dontnod.
Where are we looking on the page?
Don't nod.
Don't nod. There's
Don't
actually an apostrophe in there, and almost everywhere else, I think.
No, whatever. Don't Nod Entertainment have teamed up. They're going to bring a game called Life is Strange. It's a new IP. Well, it seems to be the hit thing to do recently. Released in episodic chapters, where each chapter evolves based on choices you made in the previous one.
Also, Zeboid and the original plan for Half-Life.
Yep. Can I also say that if the gameplay is going to change depending on choices you made, and this is Remember Me developer making this, I don't think much is going to happen. and that's me. I'm not even being like pessimistic. That is realistic. They say that Life is Strange, every action enacts a butterfly effect. They have a playable demo available at Gamescom this week, which happens today and tomorrow. We're missing the Microsoft conference, or it might have just happened or something, I don't know. But yeah, it's stated for a release. Doesn't say when. I imagine first quarter next year.
Probably.
If we're lucky.
Paul McCartney has announced a new single coming out.
This is gaming news related?
Yes, because it's the theme tune to Destiny, which he has apparently been collaborating with the main composers for the last 4 years.
What?
Yeah. This has been kept kind of out of the everything, pretty much. Mostly because he's refused to message it. Apart from apparently back in 2012 when he wrote on Twitter, "I'm excited to be working on writing music with Bungie." 70 minutes of music you've heard in the beta version is actually being scored pretty much entirely by Paul McCartney.
Oh. I did not know that.
Now you do. And that
Now
is
you do.
Yeah,
the
now I
purpose
do.
of this segment.
Any
course,
further headlines?
Yes.
You want more headlines? Okay, I was going to go into another news part, but okay. release date, which we were talking about earlier, me and Felis. Kingdom Hearts 3 Love Max set for September 23rd release in North America. The Japanese release was earlier this year in June?
European
May.
release. The European release has been announced with no date.
Yes. NIS is going to release it over here along with Under Night and Birth next year.
They're quite nice at releasing things for
Nisa.
Europe. Yeah. I like them.
And that is your folly.
BioWare have been teasing their You've Been Chosen project again. And according to everything, it looks like they're just trying to get into the esports world.
Yeah, no surprise.
Yeah, because the live stream, everything's leading up to a live stream where they'll be announcing the new game properly at Gamescom. Which will be happening the ESL Gamescom channel, which is an exclusive channel for broadcasting esports. So, for fuck's sake, why aren't they just working on Mass Effect? America on Mass Effect! And
Don't you dare start this video.
what, the You've Been Chosen Impact trailer? Oh, no, your thing.
My thing. I want to try and find. I can't remember.
Right, whilst you're finding it,
it was freaking BioWare related, but
the
okay.
Final Fantasy 7, 8, and 9 strategy guide box set is being released by Primer Games.
Strategy guide.
Yes. It's some sort of anniversary re-release thing.
Yeah, because we want more money from you. Why?
Some of it's actually kind of good. I mean, despite the fact that Primer Games don't always get the good stuff in some of their guides.
Like any of it.
Yeah. But they're bundling all three of these strategy guides from the Final Fantasy titles, along with extra goodies. Like the deluxe hardcover treatment, ribbon bookmarks, content redesigned with the high-resolution screens. Oh, and a rewrite of the Final Fantasy IX guide that now no longer forces readers to use the defunct Play Online service. As well as some holographic lithographs and a few extra unnamed goodies.
Yay.
Yay.
Okay, well, you've done with that. I haven't found it yet, but I'll use this instead. Valve possibly adding film, TV series, and more to Steam. It seems that Valve have decided that they want a bit of the pie that's going along with TV streaming and the like, and film streaming in current. What are you looking at me like that for?
Oh, nothing. I was going to wait till you finished.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying to improve on this whole talking thing.
Okay.
You ruined that.
You're not very good at the talking. Yes, they've put application IDs for application type IDs for film, TV series, video, etc. were found in Steam in one of the beta updates recently. And they said, although these app type additions may just be improvements on what Valve already offers, it can offer the purchase of soundtracks for games where the soundtrack is saved, because it's saved in the application of Steam. Is the way it works. So it's sort of like Spotify. So they're speculating that Valve now want a part of this sort of thing. They're making it so that if they wanted to go in that direction, they can.
Doesn't surprise me.
And Felix said he wanted to talk about this.
Yeah, I was just saying, TK took an awful long time for that.
Okay,
That's what I was going to say. I'm bringing up my news now.
Well,
I
if we continue on briefly with Valve, apparently they're suspected to have soft launched the Source 2 engine via the new Dota Tool Workshop tools. Because we've all been hearing the rumours about the stuff ready for like Left 4 Dead 3, Half-Life 3. But apparently they're soft launching this via the new Workshop tools for Dota 2. They've even acknowledged that this is a developer-focused release, currently has high system requirements, but it did not suggest it was tied to Source 2. But hours after its release, a modder who posted on Reddit has gathered evidence to suggest it is his belief that Valve has indeed soft-launched Source 2.
I'm just going to port some news over to TK.
I'm trying really hard to
So you
find
can
this
join in.
freaking news thing I found that was actually interesting related to BioWare. In the meantime...
In the meantime, onward with the actual newsy stuffs.
Please God, yes.
I actually had news and then I heard someone steal it while I was on the loo.
I'm so... Well, I only did it in
Okay.
headline form. If you want to expand on it.
No, I just kind of had the headline because I saw the Paul McCartney. Well, I heard the Paul McCartney story being talked about by Yahtzee and Gabriel in the Let's Drown Out series they do on YouTube.
Oh, and I brought it up earlier by
Yeah, they do.
making a good joke about it.
And it's like, did anybody else have a what the fuck moment when they saw that? It's like,
Oh yeah, I mean, a little bit.
it's like, what the fuck? Is he still alive? I thought they killed him after the Olympics ceremony.
No.
TK?
Yeah,
I've sent you about 4 pieces.
I know. I'm looking at them now.
Dear me.
It's not
So,
loading.
starting off then for the gaming news, Crytek UK had planned to resurrect Time Splitters, the CEO said. The rights are remaining with Crytek after the studio sale to Deep Silver. So this is a comment from Crytek CEO Sevat Yiril, because English name.
No, it's not.
They were formerly known as Free Radical Design, best known for their work on the Time Splitters series. He stated, I still personally love Time Splitters, there might be a good chance for something in the future. We have some creative ideas, in fact the UK operation at one point planned to resurrect Time Splitters, but that has now changed, so we will figure out something definitely for Time Splitters, but the time has not yet come. He also made some comment in regards to how members of the studio had gone unpaid for months, saying that Crytek chose to delay payments rather than downsize staff. And he was surprised and a bit upset that the intention of keeping everyone together has upset a few of them, but he understood the situation. But at the moment, they're now focusing on their free-to-play projects, Warface, Hunt, and Arena of Fate, and they haven't ruled out returning to Crisis and Rise in the future.
And we do know that the fan project is still going on ahead. Damn the Koch brothers, they ruin everything.
Okay. I got something interesting here. It's like, I actually got a lot of stuff that I actually just sort of went through. There's nothing really discuss worthy other than the thing I wanted to discuss, but I can't fucking find because I didn't save it on this tablet. Skyrim modder revives PlayStation 1's Medieval.
What?
Yep.
I actually just closed down a tab for that.
Yeah. Well, I thought I'd just give it a quick mention because Medieval's a good favorite.
It's a good game.
It's actually a really good, funny game.
It's a very silly game.
It is indeed. There's a mod for it in progress called Medieval Hero of Gallowmere. One of the Nexus guys is generally the mod forums, mod place for people who do Fallout, Skyrim, Morrowind.
Nexus is now for everything, but yeah, on the Test Nexus, he's one of the guys that have actually done a few rather good scripted and animated mods.
Yes. Now, he's setting out to use Skyrim to recreate the first 4 levels of the classic game. He wants to make all of the level areas recognizable and close to the original, but at the same time I want to update some archaic mechanics, combat interactions, etc. to modern standards. There's a trailer available for it on Reddit, which is on YouTube by now, I would imagine.
If it's on Reddit, then it's already cross-posted from YouTube. So.
That's how the internet works, eh?
Yeah, and unfortunately I've had to sort of read a bit more Reddit than usual lately.
It's kind of interesting, actually, because it's a remake. Well, it's not really a remake, but you know what I mean.
It's much like the Skywind project that's coming out soon.
Yeah, and these sorts
And I
of
heard
things.
that the Miracle of Sound guy has actually been doing a lot of the music for it.
These sorts of things interest me because it's not a straight port of Medieval. HD.
It's somebody that's sat there going, there's some shit that needs fixing.
And I'm going to use a different game engine to use it and see how it works. I will be following this. I've got something else to... Oh, you want to go?
This is one of those things that should not really have ever had to have been used or anything, but Nintendo have now had to officially confirm Shake's gender. Sheik, Shake, I don't care.
Well, if you want to use the actual name, it's Sheikh. Sheikh.
Phlegm.
Basically, apparently, for about 9 years now, all of the internet has just been arguing forever as to the gender of the character.
Really?
Including such things as, no, is totally a dude because Zelda knows magic and would therefore do a full body transformation. And also is, referred to as a young man and him when Link finds him in the water temple. It's like... And they go, and the body type is completely different because no woman would ever work out to become a hero or tape her breasts. Right?
Obviously.
However, the definitive answer, this is Bill Trinan from Nintendo, is that Shake, Chic, Shaka Laka Ding Dong is a woman, simply Zelda in a different outfit. So finally, it can be put to rest
Of course,
forever.
because there'll always be people out there going, no, you're wrong. I don't care you made it, you're wrong. For instance, look at people who still pronounce them GIFs. Even though the creator has come out and said they're GIFs, people are still going, nope, you're wrong, we know best, they're GIFs.
It's too late. It's a language thing. It has already evolved. We cannot
Exactly.
stop it.
They are GIFs. Fuck them. I don't care what the creator
Why
says,
would you
they're
ever
GIFs.
have GIF on
It's
your
like I have had to unwillingly accept that literally means both figuratively and not figuratively, depending on context.
Yeah. I don't agree with that either.
Anyway,
I was
EA
literally
Access.
upset. What about it?
This is something that I must have missed because I've managed to pick up a
We-
bit of information about EA Access.
We touched on it last week,
Yeah, that's why I said I missed it.
or the week before.
Strange that. EA Access, the new subscription service to EA games for the Xbox One.
Mhm.
No mention of the PS4.
No,
apparently-
Sony flat out denied them.
Well,
Right.
apparently they will not require the Xbox Live Gold
Yep.
in order to gain access to the games, although multiplayer features will still need a subscription.
So confirming what we had,
Last week.
so which is good.
Pretty much. They've clarified to IGN that certain game features requiring the service to remain, but access to the title themselves will not be gated. And in terms of the cost, you're looking at $3.99 a month or $19.99 a year. And they will receive access to The Vault, a collection of EA games available to download and play at no additional cost. That's a sizable chunk of games, especially when their beginning games is what? Madden NFL 15 and
Madden NFL 20.
15.
I think that's a 25 there. Yeah,
Dragon
25.
Age.
FIFA 14, Peggle 2,
Oh, no,
and
that's-
Battlefield
that's
4.
Early access they were talking about.
Yeah.
But that's actually quite impressive for them to basically go, okay, here's our library, granted it's subscription, but you have access as long as you pay.
I think I gave TK the extra information on that as well. Did I?
I
By
don't-
extra
I'll-
information,
Yes, I did.
do you mean the library being permanent and substantial?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I completely wasn't listening. I got sidetracked by another news article.
You had a few extra tidbits on this article from one of the articles I gave unto you.
Access library will be permanent and substantial.
Yeah, and a little bit about the PS4 decision and
It
little
was,
bits.
the joypad one I quite liked. I'll read that in a minute.
Yeah, I got one to lead off from that. So.
And from that, I've actually clicked on another link. And this isn't so much news, it's just a kind of opinion article on Dual Shoppers that's titled, While You Bicker About the Console War, PlayStation and Xbox Executive Party and Have Fun Together. So it seems like the heads of the company are getting along fine. It's just the rabid
Well,
fanboys that
They
can't agree.
generally have. It's like every other year we get the respective heads of these branches of Sony and Microsoft and Nintendo have gotten together and had drinks, and then they snorted some blow off some hookers. One of the hookers died. Thomas King is currently on the run from authorities. If you see him,
Now.
PM RPS Plus account.
Yeah. Right. I found the news article that I wanted to talk about.
Hurrah!
Huzzah!
After nearly 16 years of development, Mass Effect creative director, fudge, I can't read today, Casey Hudson,
Yes, that motherfucker.
Adult.
he has left BioWare.
Good.
So this is the shit writer, right?
This is the guy who locked himself away to do the ending.
Yes.
The original ending.
This is the guy that is good when he's like being reined in by other writers.
Lucas syndrome.
Yeah, very
Yeah.
much so.
Oh, sorry, Lucas and
Say
Nancy.
those bits you cut out, can you put them back in?
Yes, he said that after a lifetime of extraordinary experiences, he's decided to hit the reset button and move on from BioWare, which is kind of like, you know, a big thing to do considering he is like a part of BioWare. Not
And
even.
join Zynga.
Oh, dear God, no. He's worked on a lot of games. He's Neverwinter Nights, Star Wars: Knights of the Old Republic, Mass Effect Trilogy.
Shit.
He's speaking about the confidence of BioWare and what they're going to be producing because of Mass Effect 4, or whatever they're going to call it. They might call it Mass Effect something. And Dragon Age Inquisitioner.
Mass Effect, the next generation.
Inquisition.
Starring Wesley Shepherd.
Oh god. He says, the development for the next Mass Effect game is well underway with stunning assets and playable builds. I don't believe you. With playable builds, we fucking didn't see anything at E3. That proves the team is ready to deliver the best Mass Effect experience to date. Yes, he didn't leave for any bad reason, or he left on quite what they call amicable terms.
Amicable, yes.
Amicable. How did I get that word? I think this is I think this is interesting because it is one of the guys that ruined the finale of the Mass Effect trilogy and has been the hatred of many a fan. He's leaving, which can mean one of two things: either it starts going to shit because they don't have a writer that's really good, or they'll manage.
Creative lead, Drew Karpyshyn was one of the other main writers for the Mass Effect series, who does better with story treatments than he does with actual full-on prose if you've read any of the Mass Effect books, which you don't want to.
Okay, so they basically need somebody to fill in for that gap, and then they've got a good team. As long as they don't get somebody who is Lucas syndrome.
It's not so much Lucas syndrome. Yeah, you can tell when Lucas divorced his wife, because that's when the quality.
Well, the end of the Return of the Jedi.
The writer was still so dead set against that.
Now, aren't there? They're just going to be gunning for you now.
But
anyway, I do have some news that may spark a good chunk of debate in the room.
Oh, just before you do then.
Yep.
I just want to get a nice little fluff piece in. According to EA, the Xbox One the Xbox 360 and the PS3 are likely to have at least 2 more years of life left.
No surprise.
given how many new releases are coming out for them at the moment, I'm not surprised, really.
Yep.
Exclusive releases, even.
Yeah, Peter Moore said in a statement that, in particular, Sony has managed its PS2 to PS3 transition very well. Having run the Xbox business, as you know, because he was the Electronic Arts Chief Operating Officer, he says, I think Microsoft is committed to the Xbox 360 for a number of years, so I'd anticipate seeing both Sony and Microsoft get behind their current generation platforms for at least the next 2 years and bring us to a 10-year cycle as we saw in the previous generation. Sony having already stated that all of their consoles have a 10-year lifespan before they'll stop supporting them outright, as we saw with the PS1, the PS2 going way over that. That lasted for about 12 years or so. And the PS3 now not too far away from approaching its 10th year. On Sony's side of things, this is just the news article now, the Japanese gaming industry is going to support the PS3 for a while longer, with relevant games belonging to popular franchises like Persona 3, Tales of Zestria, and more. So it's unlikely we'll see the PS3 going the way of the Dodo anytime soon.
Well, they did support the PS2 for actually for about 2 years after the PS3 came out. So
well, let's not forget that the PS2's last game came out this year.
Mm-hmm.
That was FIFA 14, which I still need to get a copy of for the PS2.
And they're still cheap. That's the main thing. The PS3 and Xbox games are still cheap compared to the current bloody servings.
Pete, you can't complain about game prices these days.
Why do you think people are turning more to the episodic style content, which is cheaper? And it just takes you a bit longer to get to your end goal.
Don't forget, new SNES games could easily cost 50, 60 quid. New SNES games, Pete. SNES games.
Just buy the Game Boy adapter, and then all of your Game Boys are your new SNES games.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Or get the Master System adapter, and all the Master System games are your new Mega Drive games. Yeah. But, so, moaning that the games are still costing 60 quid now seems a little bit petty when you consider just how much of a fuck-ton more effort they are to produce.
Well, when you consider the price inconsistencies between platforms, it is a bit weird.
Second-hand price, they drop like a stone.
But no, let's take Borderlands 2, a very anticipated AAA title that had come out. £40 to £50, depending where you get it for both of the consoles.
At launch.
At launch.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
20 quid at launch for PC.
Yep.
It was probably a lot less effort to port it to the PC. I mean, was it started life as a PC game and then moved to consoles or vice versa?
It was designed as a multi-platform game. From the start.
But was it designed with the PC in mind from the start?
No, it's designed as a multi-platform from the start.
Yeah, so to cater for the console, since the console price being more expensive, it was then ported to PC. So a lot of the game assets and everything had already been done, and therefore you were just basically paying for the conversion, which is a bit easier, especially if they're porting it from the 360 version.
Also, the handheld game prices are stupid. I would have picked up one of the the latest Zelda game by now, but it's still fucking 30 quid even second hand.
Milk. That's Nintendo way.
Yeah. This is my issue. The prices aren't going down though. That's
Well, what do you expect? In the olden days, they used to justify it by the cost of the cartridge. Cartridges are expensive. These days, they can justify it by the cost of 20 billion staff members.
Yeah.
Have you ever sat through a game's credits? They're longer than fucking films these days.
It's because it's grown to the point where it was probably most cost efficient in the PlayStation 2 early PlayStation 3 days, but nowadays it's just
Yeah, when everyone expects...
Wait. Who the fuck sits all the way through the credits and this is either A, a Marvel film, or B, a game they just completed on ultra hardcore mode just to get the 3-second extra clip?
yeah. No. Nowadays you got AAA studios with so many people, and people expect such a high caliber of a game.
Quality, yeah.
Yeah, it's just
It's like, and you can tell when they don't quite deliver. They could have like 5 million people working on it, but if it's not right, the games industry will rip it apart.
yeah.
And so,
IGN will give it a 7 out of 10.
yeah,
Oh my god!
that's like a disaster for them.
Yeah.
There
It
you
could
go.
get like 69% on Metacritic and be ruined forever.
I saw them give a game a 6 once.
I saw
Legend has it that the game actually killed the reviewer's family.
Mortal Kombat Mythology Sub-Zero get a 1 in the official UK PlayStation magazine when it came out. I didn't even know they went down to 1.
They have a special section where they have like a short
It's called the
paragraph.
Mortal Kombat Mythology section.
Anyway,
Even the Jax one that came after it, Mortal Kombat Special Forces, got like a 5.
Wow.
So wait, there are
Yeah.
games in the Mortal Kombat series that are more panned than Shaolin Monks?
What?
Yes.
Hey, Shadow Monks was amazing. You leave that the fuck alone. I kill you. No, because I remember the review actually said it's a 32-bit console running a 16-bit game with 8-bit graphics and a 4-bit combat system made by a 2-bit company who didn't give one bit of care about the game.
Oh, you
they
memorized
were
that.
pissed. They were pissed.
They were not happy with that game at all.
Anyway, the news that I'm thinking will probably spark a chunk of debate. You've heard about the Twitch stuff, right?
No,
Yes.
everyone else has.
Okay.
I've heard a brief moment from these two, but no, I haven't.
Yeah.
Fill me in.
Basically, there is new Twitch tech that blocks copyrighted music in video. So this is a YouTube-style copyright protection.
Okay.
And when we say block, if they pick up on copyrighted audio, primarily material,
Okay.
they will mute
Your channel.
half-hour sections.
Yeah,
Okay.
they will mute
And this is
your
on
channel.
all videos on demand system.
This has
All-
already hit official streams, by the way.
Yes, the Dota 2 International 4 was muted because Valve were playing Dota 2 music, which is licensed by
Valve's
Valve.
fucking shit.
They were playing their own song.
The official stream for Valve for Dota 2 was being muted because they were playing Dota 2 music
That is
on the
genius,
Valve
yeah.
stream.
I like
It
that.
does say this applies not only to commercial music, typically played in the background, but also includes in-game music. And past broadcasts and highlights with flag content are exportable, but will remain muted.
Ooh.
And apparently, this is implemented via a partnership with Audible Magic.
I think this is stupid because games license the music to play in that game, right? And
Mhm.
therefore you should be able to stream them on Twitch. Since Twitch is like, as long as it's the game, you're not doing it for your own profit, basically, isn't that right? You're allowed
A
to.
lot of people are Twitch partners, though, and therefore will be making a profit
Well,
from it.
not just
because
Yeah,
of
but
the
the-
advertising.
Yeah, but they're-
Subscribers, they actually pay to subscribe.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're allowed to stream games. There's an agreement, and if your music is licensed in a game, you are saying, "Oh, as if
It
it's
comes as part of that agreement.
yes."
Yeah. I see where you're
And
coming
we've gotten to the point now where quite a lot of games publishers have said, okay, we're cool with this. As long as you actually represent it's part of the gameplay, you're not just going to stream all our fucking albums over and over again.
Yeah, a good example is Atlas. Whenever a game comes up for Atlas, they usually go, "Look, we don't mind if you stream this game, but you need to wait 2 months or a month because we don't want people to be ruined with this game. We like them to, buy it, play it,
Experience it themselves.
yes, rather
yeah.
than watch you play it. After a month or two, That's when sales like are not really that relevant anymore. It's fine. You can stream it all you want.
They drop down after then.
They drop down after 2-3 weeks, don't they?
Yeah, but it's not long.
Yeah.
About 3 weeks.
Unless a big YouTuber reviews it and then they spike back up again.
With a ripple effect where it's like, oh my god, that guy reviewed it. We should totally play this game again and go out with other people. Which is part of the whole argument over the
Yogscast thing, yeah.
the Yog producer thing. Yeah.
But yeah, I remember this because everyone blew up about it. Everyone was just going on about how stupid this system was. It's like an
And they instantly went, Google ruins everything.
Oh yeah, they did go Google.
Even though Google haven't bought Twitch yet.
No, Twitch are very like, you need to give us more money.
It's a completely different process being used as well.
Yep, it's a completely different company and apparently been implemented 27th of August, apparently. But they do follow on with that by saying that they're introducing an appeals process for copyright claims.
Yes.
And the CEO admits it screwed up communicating changes.
If you're wondering, the different programs used are Twitch uses Audible Magic for their content matching, and Google uses their own Content ID.
Yeah. Well,
which is a fucking nightmare piece of software.
Yeah, Matthew DiPetrio, the company's VP of Marketing and Communications, has said it received an incredible amount of feedback about the new video manager, VOD storage, and audio recognition system, and is acting on concerns raised by the community.
Oh, by the way, if you want to defeat the muting system, just pausing and resuming the video works.
First, the maximum time limit on highlights will be removed, because they did say it would be only 2 hours.
Yes, which is... carry on, I'll punch him once you're done.
And you'll once again be able to create highlights of any length, and they will be saved indefinitely, because they had also said they were removing the Save Forever function. Secondly, we're deploying an appeal button for VODs that have been flagged for copyright music by the new audio recognition system. We recognise the system is not yet perfect. We want to make a system as fair and unobtrusive as possible, and we greatly appreciate your help.
Well, if they want to make it fair and unobtrusive, remove it!
Yeah.
There we go. It's unobtrusive now.
I know that a lot of people have already started to move. No one huge yet, but people are slowly migrating to Hitbox.
And Asabu.tv is the other main competitor at the moment.
Yeah.
Hitbox.tv.
This is also partially due to... They're not just migrating because of the muting issue, they're also going over the storage issue, which is the other thing.
The storage thing is a huge thing for a lot of streamers because we can actually keep our we can keep our archives here. We don't have to upload them on YouTube or anything. That's cool. But now they've taken that away. They're like, well, what about this big huge event we have?
Of the data broadcast, you have 2 weeks if you're a free user and 60 days if you're a Turbo subscriber or one of Twitch's partners.
Oh, okay.
If you have a highlight reel around 2 hours, that will stick around indefinitely.
Ah.
Yeah.
And their rationalization for this is that we need to give people mobile content and they need to find it all sooner, and 80% of the views only happen in those first 2 weeks anyway. I can kind of see that, but for some things people actually want to go back and go, I remember this fucking awesome scene from last year's Eve. Let's bring it up on the Twitch.
Oh wait, we can't. Luckily, they've already ported it all to YouTube.
The thing is, Twitch isn't the go back and watch it. Twitch is primarily live streams.
No, Twitch is also archives. I do watch a lot of stuff on archives on Twitch simply because it won't be on YouTube because it's already on Twitch.
There's a guy who basically has huge archives of all of his PS1 speedruns of things like Parasite Eve and all this other stuff. And
yeah, when you do a lot of stuff as well, you also don't want to port
we were
all
sat
of it.
there just watching this guy play the games from 4 years ago, I think it was. It's just, we just click next. Okay, we've gone through this whole... It's, what's the face? The guy that does all the Halloween games. The non-stop marathon around Halloween.
I know, thanks.
Yeah.
But to wrap this up, the CEO emphasised that the copyright policing technology for audio is only intended for video-on-demand content and won't be enforced during live streams. So at least there should then be the ability to have still your followers watching you as you play.
Mm-hmm.
But for the 20 minutes that they can watch on your archives...
and then mute.
Yeah. And
well,
there are...
That's the point with the appeal button, I suppose.
there are quite a few people who play on Twitch, and they go to leave the room and they leave a hi-fi blasting
Yeah.
for 20 minutes whilst they go order pizza or something.
That'll teach them to not use Just Eat or equivalents.
But this is something that I see that will happen with all the stuff, up to and including the PlayStation game streaming that we're seeing via the PS4.
Oh yeah, I forgot that was a thing.
Hmm.
Who else forgot
And
that was a thing?
I didn't.
Okay.
It's
I
not
watched
hugely useful yet.
some Destiny stuff on that, but I don't think that even that's not going to stay untouched by this, because eventually companies will say, no, this is our content, or
Well, didn't we prove... Was it not Nia Cooney? That stupid other one.
helpful.
No, the one...
Child of Light.
Potentially. The one where the
Yes.
music was muted. Well, Child
Yes,
Light,
Child
wasn't it?
Light.
Yeah.
Oh.
And you'd recorded some of it, and it recorded all the game sound effects fine, but there was no music. And we were wondering if that was because maybe the music, they didn't license it for it. They couldn't allow you to record and rebroadcast it. But of course they've got the share function, so they had to let you have something. So game sound effects came in instead,
Oh.
but no music,
Yeah.
which is actually quite useful, because then you can put your own music to it. So if you don't like the game audio music,
Makes you wonder if that's going to change again as soon as Google acquires them, because Google sorted out some of the unlicensed music issues where they've gone, hey, these are the owners of music that we have negotiated with, where if you use their music
yeah, you
and
get
can't
adverts.
provide the proof that you've licensed it, we will just share revenue with them and allow your video to remain up.
Yeah, in a lot of cases. But it's people like the Sony Music Group, Warner Music Group, and people like that who are just utter pricks with that system. They abuse the shit
Yeah,
out of
and
it.
the massive group that pretty much all of the musicians on YouTube used to use,
Yeah,
who they signed up to protect their music against unlicensed things, and then that company then just started doing takedown requests because they changed the user agreement.
and they
Yeah.
were doing takedown requests on the people's own music.
Yeah. And this was the big thing that we had just before Christmas, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah. But then this is the thing. I don't think the programs that they're migrating to for streaming
Well,
will stay unscathed by this. I think they're also going to get affected.
I'm thinking that when it comes to archiving, you're going to see people go off to Hit Thingy and other Thingy.
I thought Hitbox were the guys who made the joystick without the stick.
Yeah, but Hitbox.tv is something that the fine game community has been using recently.
There we go. And the other .tv site that I said.
Yeah,
But those are probably going to be the places you go to when you want the archives, and Twitch is no longer going to be the one-stop shop for everything you need.
Well, we'll keep an eye on the news, and we'll let you know if anything.
so
crops
Yahoo
up.
Video, folks, remember that?
I think that's pretty much
Google
the
Video.
news then.
Oh, I can't
The
remember
fuck does Yahoo even get right anymore apart from a weather app?
I think that's it for gaming news. We need to move
Is it?
on to Done and Dusted.
Didn't Yahoo buy someone recently? Like, not
I
Tumblr,
don't-
but
Yeah, no, they did. They brought some TV community.
yeah. Who the fuck was it?
Yahoo has purchased well, not purchased community, but they've funded communities next
No,
season.
they bought one.
What do you mean, bro?
There was like an established community online. Something. Remember when they bought Flickr? It's something like that fairly recently, and it was a kind of more platformy based thing. And they've bought them recently, and I was absolutely fucking stunned because people weren't migrating from it instantly the moment Yahoo bought them. And I can't remember who the hell it was. And I want to say Tumblr, but I don't think it was Tumblr. It was someone else. But they're owned by Yahoo now, and I thought, well, hang on, if Yahoo is starting to actually get in the game now, I'll blow the dust off my old account.
Yahoo has bought Tumblr? No, this is all just as soon as you type in Yahoo buys, you get a link of things that are either true or rumors, like Yahoo
Yeah.
buys Sumly, Yahoo buys Tumblr, Yahoo buys Google,
No.
Yahoo buys Alibaba. What?
What?
Yeah, how about we just carry on and go into Done and Dusted now?
Okay,
But I had things like Thailand banning Tropico 5.
let's review the news of Yahoo buying.
We had controller news. Bum, bum, bum.
It's that time where the cast of TigerTails Radio review stuff badly. This is Done and Dusted.
So yeah, it's done and dusted. It's that time where we like to give a quick mention to something that we've done, seen, watched, eaten, played with, tasted, designed, doodled, fiddled on, urinated on, ignored, whatever. We're going to talk about it now. Oh, except Felix probably doesn't have anything.
Yeah, I could do Night Vale, but I'll just wait till I finish the current run before I
That sounds fair.
try to.
Alex?
Alex, got anything?
Octodad.
Oh my god.
Which did you finally finish that?
No,
or
he
does
didn't.
that-
He ran out of
No.
time.
No, you're in the
He's in the final stages, we think.
Yeah, pretty much. So I'll still give my opinion on that.
I don't know what I should review yet. I mean, I've been playing more Final Fantasy X, but I've already covered that a few times in this show.
Have you?
Yep. So I can't think what the fuck to review. I know I've played something else recently, and I can't remember what the fuck it is. Not the PS3.
Oh, no. Oh, Cell Damage.
I played that. I've already reviewed that though. I reviewed that
Yeah.
this season, I
He
think.
reviews it like 5 times a year or something.
Only about twice a year. When I kind of get back into it again. It's still fun. Just because it's old as shit now, it doesn't stop it being fun. And we pretty solidly covered Final Fantasy X in one of our archive shows where we did the rundown of our favourite PS2 games beat.
Yes, we did.
So that's fun. We need to do another show like that. We need to do more theme weekends. I remember theme
Yeah.
weekends. They were fun. We need to do theme shows again.
Book a weekend we can record for.
So Pete, what are you doing next Saturday? Not the one coming up, but the one after.
Next Saturday, not a lot, because Julia will be on holiday away, and I'll pretty much be doing my usual kick around.
Alex, what are you doing next Saturday? Not the one coming up, but the one after.
I don't know.
Venus, what are you doing next weekend? Not the one coming up, but the one after.
the 23rd.
Ah. Oh, is it that? Is it?
Well, no, the other one's on the 30th, I believe.
Yeah, it's 23rd, isn't it?
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Huh.
When's Nano? Meet up? 30th, isn't it?
I believe it's 30th. Yes.
Why is the 23rd stick in my mind for some reason?
Yeah.
Is that the weekend we got free?
It's a date.
It's the day I'm supposed to be recovering from a hangover, but apart from that. So yeah, there we go. That's
Yeah,
fine.
it's on the 30th. It's the Nano thing.
23rd's probably important for something, but I'll double book myself, fuck it. Right, let's figure out something we can record. Right, there you go then. Problem solved. Next!
Right, so TK has something. I have Guardians of the Galaxy.
I covered that last week.
Ah,
Do you want to bring up a 10-minute loop of Ooga Chaka Ooga Ooga?
I
No.
am Groot.
Because that actually counts as transformative enough to bypass.
right, do you want to start with Octodad?
No, someone else can start. I always bloody start. Just because you lot are lazy.
Oh, you.
Felix isn't even looking up at it. He's just, I don't even know what he's doing. Felix,
I have all of the things.
you go first.
I've got TigerTails Gaming back up online. I've been busy.
Well, I'll let you guys go first, because that way I can just play us off with the other thing.
And here's Felis Starter. Twisted Felis Starter.
Indeed. By the way, Tika, I've got to put the links in channel, haven't I?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm ready for that. I am so ready.
My god.
Yeah.
I've got books on the way, which I can probably review next week.
Yeah.
They haven't arrived yet, so I can't.
Right, okay.
I do have this, though. Which probably won't be able to see on the camera.
You want to tilt it upwards slightly. Tilt it. There we go. That's got rid of the screen glare,
Aha.
so you can now read.
Can you see what it is?
Can you guess what it is yet?
Can you guess what it is yet? Well, can you?
Can you guess what it is yet?
Yeah. Can't play any of it. Copyright, but still.
Dear God. Anyway, so Guardians of the Galaxy. So you discussed your viewing of it.
Yeah, which you didn't listen to, did you?
No, because strangely enough, no computer.
Yeah, you've had a computer
Wait,
since Sunday.
wait.
Downloaded the podcast.
Wait,
You listen.
why are we reviewing something that's already been done?
Because it's
from
TigerTails Radio.
Someone else's point of view.
Because it's much like what the internet's saying at the moment. Instead of going to see Turtles, why not just watch Guardians of the Galaxy again?
Yes, please.
Instead of reviewing Turtles, why not review Guardians of the Galaxy again?
I'm sure there's another movie in cinemas at the moment that is worth a watch.
Yeah, I think Frozen's
We
still
should totally watch Lucy.
out. No.
My friends were talking about it, but I do not remember.
Do you want to see what current releases are?
Yes, please.
Meanwhile, was your booking your
23rd
day?
Doctor Who!
Yes.
Oh yeah, that's the thing that's coming out.
I do remember. I knew that day was ingrained in my mind for some reason. We got to go and see Doctor Who in the cinema.
Oh,
Again?
Yeah, episode 1. It's 80 minutes long. It's going to be in the cinema.
Oh,
okay.
the fourth sequel to Step Up. Is that what your friends were talking about?
Totally, right?
Can you mute him?
Do we have to? Well, are we going to pre-book tickets?
If we can, why the fuck not?
I don't even know if they're available yet.
I don't think it'll be available just yet, but
The
I mean, they're going to be like 10 quid. It's not even in 3D this time, so it's not going to be that expensive.
It's 23rd, right?
Yeah.
So it's a Saturday.
Yep, but it's Doctor Who,
Yes.
so it's a Saturday.
In 2 weeks' time.
Yes.
Yes.
Coming up week in this. So the other movies are The Expendables 3, Into the Woods, Divergent,
Anyway,
Lucy, Hercules, and The Purge Anarchy. The only major ones that I can remember.
right. So Guardians of the Galaxy
Oh,
then.
wow. That's showing Jurassic Park in Odeon. Which Odeon?
So for those people who've probably been living under a rock, Guardians of the Galaxy is the new Marvel movie, and I basically dragged TK and Hedgie out to see it.
You didn't drag Hedgie.
So should
No,
I
Hedgie wanted to see
repeat
it.
that?
You
I
had to
said
restrain
TK.
Hedgie.
So, Alex has just figured out what movie it was he and his friends were talking about.
Yeah?
It was Guardians of the Galaxy all along.
Oh dear.
TK's face just had to stop, process that for a moment.
I don't have a desk big enough.
You know the elephant in the room, right?
I'm
But
not
this
dating with
this
her
is-
anymore.
This is based on a comic book run from Marvel that isn't the big main runs that you'll remember, such as Thor, Captain America, Iron Man, the Avengers, X-Men. These were kind of like a tiny little cult following compared to those guys. The story is pulled from bits and pieces across the entirety of the start of Guardians of the Galaxy. Kind of. It's not kind of like the Iron Man film where it was very similar to his story at all in terms of origin. It's taking what was good and adjusting it for the Marvel movie universe and making it, in my opinion, even better. And they kickstart with a Disney trope of basically going, "Oh, let's kick you in the feels right away." Because the first few scenes is the lead character Peter Quill as a kid, who ends up watching his mother die of cancer.
Spoilers. I didn't spoil that in my review.
No, but this is
very-
Pete who is going
it's
to
very
explain the
quick.
whole movie for us,
That's true.
But then
so we don't have to see it.
up, lovely build up, and then kick you in the feels straight away.
Yep.
And this actually sets and puts a nice setting to the entirety of the remainder of the film, because it doesn't set it dark, brooding, Batman style. It basically goes, "Oh yeah, you've been kidnapped by aliens, and now this happens." Literally. So you have the title sequence where he will appear on the alien planet. He will stick on his headphones and begin playing 80s tracks, and the title sequence just is then awesome from that point on, and it carries on in that vein.
If you're wondering why several friends have been running around with a CD filled with 80s tracks lately.
Well, this is the music of me growing up. These were songs that were my shit that I listened to when I was growing up. So having the entire backing of the music to this film was brilliant for me, because it was like reference after brilliant song that fitted with what was going on. And this
Wasn't
is
the 60s your music?
no, this is the 80s, you mofo.
60s?
This is the 80s. He was listening to Bowie, for fuck's sake, not the 60s.
No,
That'd
no,
be
I'm talking
very
about
fair.
your music, not the movie's music.
Somebody slap him.
Oh. Right, Doctor
So-
Who. Sorry,
Yeah.
interrupting, Pete. So I've just been looking on the Agent website. There's not just Doctor Who. There's also a live stream Q&A from Leicester Square as well.
Ah.
And for the whole thing, including the episode, it's 13 quid a ticket.
That's reasonable.
And it's
That's
also
reasonable.
featuring, before the showing of the TV episode, a 5-minute won't be seen on TV DVD exclusive feature as well.
This is also not local.
So
Okay.
13 quid a ticket.
Not big DVD sales after.
Well, I'm paid on Friday, so...
Fantastic. We can-
Anyway, so the film kicks off with that and very quickly leads into Quill discovering what every Marvel fan knows is an Infinity Stone, and effectively nicking it and then fleeing it, because he is the epitomous thief. He's in it to get the loot, and they very quickly throw the rest of the characters in, so you immediately see how they get together, what their characters are very quickly as the story runs through, and it's very fast-paced. There's lots of good humour, which, if you've been watching especially the DC stuff, is a nice change. There is actually comedy, and there's actual visual gags, and there's brilliant little scenes that make you laugh for no reason, just because. And when you go back to some of the Marvel films, like Winter Soldier, there was some comedy there, but not as much. And Iron Man 3, Thor 2, enough said about them, really, because this blows those completely out of the water. So you get the gang together, you then have the plot basically running in, because there is a big bad guy coming in, which is Ronan the Accuser, who I think's a little bit washy.
A little bit
really as
washy.
threatening.
He was just a fat guy in blue face paint.
Pretty
Oh,
much.
I'm threatened.
Yeah, he didn't really have a chance to be villainous,
Anything?
and he didn't really have a proper backing to explain villainy, especially not when you've got a bigger villain in the background sitting on his throne that everyone's more interested
It was,
in.
hey, you could go and fight the big bad, but instead we're just going to put the sub-boss in
Hey,
the way.
it's not just a throne, it's a rocket throne.
I mean,
Throne.
he wasn't even like a sub-boss in the kind of Mortal Kombat style of sub-boss, which is, you know, the sub-boss is probably fucking harder than the end boss. This was just an insignificant peasant, and they just had to go through to get to the big guy who'll probably be in the sequel. It's
Well,
like,
he's going to be in Avengers 2 and Guardians of the Galaxy 2. They've already confirmed that.
And by the way, remember what you said about how at least they didn't force Adam Warlock into it?
Yeah.
Adam Warlock was in it twice.
Where?
He's the Green Cocoon. You know that Green Cocoon they showed a nice little shot of?
Yeah.
Officially
vaguely, yeah.
confirmed to be Warlock.
Oh, God.
Who I didn't mind. As far as completely invincible god characters go, they actually took me some interesting directions at
in
least.
one of the other Marvel films, was there like a bad guy, I think, who'd been like encased in a rock or something? Or sealed up in a tomb or whatever?
Many.
Because there was one of them.
It's a traditional way of sealing away ancient evils.
Well, and the guy who was the collector, who will probably come to a little bit more in your story, in
Yep.
the end credits, after the end credits, you got the bit with Howard the Duck. If
Yep.
you look behind, that chap's kind of prison, whatever you want to call it, had been broken, and he had apparently escaped. And that was the big ooh for one of the future films. Howard the Duck was merely a distraction.
Duck tits. Woo.
So, but unless we actually see something like, I don't know, maybe Pete
I know.
picked up something, or maybe when I go watch it, I'll pick up something that actually points it towards somebody.
Could you take
Well,
TK's phone
that's
with you? Because he's got a better
probably-
camera, and all the camera clips I've seen so far are shit.
Yeah.
It might be something referencing to a different film, because remember they've got several unconfirmed titles coming out, as well as the big one, so that could tie into something else. But yeah, I mean the story quickly continues with the Infinity Stone being apparently sold to this guy, the collector. It's then backstory revealed that warble warble warble, too loud music in the cinema, warble warble important, warble warble, and everybody dies.
Wait. Are they priming up the Infinity Gauntlet storyline?
Oh, we've seen this coming for ages.
Yeah, I know
Yeah.
Thanos has been in it before, but I mean, are they actually? It's going to be soonish then.
Yeah, the guy who played Thanos came on to the panel with an Infinity Gauntlet on, so yeah, we're getting...
A cheap toy one.
Yeah, but yeah, let's be honest, we can all see it coming.
It will be interesting to
Have you
see
seen
how
all the
that
people-
movie folds out.
Have you seen all the people trying to list up which gems are which objects in the movies so far?
Wait,
Yeah, I laughed at that.
that's the Avengers 2 movie, isn't it? Basically, Thanos.
No, Age
that's
of
going to be Ultron.
Oh
The
no, yeah,
Army
sorry.
of Ultron.
So yeah, Ultron. Then what's Thanos
No,
gonna be?
it pretty much opens with Army of
Guardians.
Ultron.
Yeah, Guardians 2 is Thanos
Confirmed.
is confirmed for that as well.
Really? He's gonna be the villain for the Guardians? Okay.
They've been working him in over about 4 movies so far.
Yes. I know.
Specifically the ones
If
that
we
deal with the wider
continue on-
universe instead of just Earth.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. If we continue on though, the story pretty much very quickly ramps up with getting them to be a workable party and introducing the Nova Corps, which is kind of Green Lanterns, only they look more sucky at this point, and having a big ass fight against Ronan the Accuser, who is a Skrull, Kree, and that doesn't seem to make any difference to anyone who doesn't watch the Marvel Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. But there is a whole batshit load of little references and things going on, including the build-up to Thanos and his empire and the weird-ass ship that was being used. And also the fact that there's this Infinity Stone wandering around and other stuff. It ends nice. It ends fantastically, and there's lots of feel moments and character development. I've seen some complaints about the fact that the characters sped through their transition a bit quickly, but seeing as this is, what, a 2-hour film that is taking a year or two's worth of comic books to create a cohesive storyline, I don't mind the fast transition. Especially seeing the comic books idea of getting the team together was to mentally mindfuck them to work together. Literally, that's the original comic book. No one would have watched this because the hero wasn't really a hero. He was a dick.
No, because the Guardians of the Galaxy was sort of like barely kept together in the comics.
I have just had it pointed out to me that, you know, the purple-skinned, inquisitor-looking motherfucker from Guardians of the Galaxy?
Yep.
He plays King Smug of Smugness from The Hobbit. That's Lee Pace.
Yeah. But it builds up on a lot of things, but really the film doesn't focus on the build-up. It focuses on this strange collection of heroes thrown together, the interactions with them. Because I was sat there watching this going, it's like every role-playing group I've ever been in. The comments and the bickering and the sheer fact you have a character who cannot understand metaphor.
That's not true. They haven't stabbed each other in the back nearly as often as all the role-playing groups you've been in.
No, really. They were. I listened to the quotes from this going through the film, and it's like, yeah, that's literally the shit I would say about my entire parties. Because it's like, my god, yes, I am surrounded by idiots. I am going to die surrounded by idiots.
I thought you were surrounded by gumdrops and ice cream.
And idiots.
And idiots.
Mostly idiots.
But there's some fantastic visual gags in this. I mean, Groot has some of the best visual gags ever. Along with the fact that you've also got Batista. The prison scene where he's just watching what's going on with this bemused expression whilst the entire plan is being relayed by Rocket.
Would you like a bonus Groot fact, Pete?
Go on, then.
Vin Diesel provided the dubbing for Groot in every single one of the languages that the movie was translated into.
Yeah, I saw that. That was awesome.
Vin Diesel.
Does Groot
Vin
not
Diesel.
speak a lot then?
I am Groot.
Is that all
Those
he
three words
says?
in that
Yeah,
order.
all he says is, I am Groot, in different ways.
And the best bit is, people then
Because
interpret
he's
that, and you have how they then have a discussion with him. Great fun. But
Yeah, much like I used to have conversations with the guard in Final Fantasy 1 when you're, welcome to Corneria. Hi, how are you? Welcome to Corneria.
Gonna punch you in the face now. Welcome to Chimera. Okay. But this is a brilliant, fun film. For me, especially, this is probably the best Marvel film that I've seen, and it beats Winter Soldier and it beats Avengers, and I'll say exactly why. Winter Soldier was a little bit long, slow-paced. It built up to a lovely bit at the end. But it was
And they
quite
cut
dark.
out all of Maria Hill's best moments.
Avengers was fan-gasm.
I blame
really.
Patrice.
It was fangasm for fangasm's sake. It had all the fan stuff from everyone's favourite characters. Whereas this is fun. This is a bunch of characters that you know barely anything about. It's a plot that they just hammer the way through. And there's gags and good music and a bloody awesome animated raccoon.
Without a Cockney accent.
Thank
I'm sorry. Ever since I heard the Cockney accent for him, and then they changed it to an American accent, not in the film, but like the animated series, he had an American accent. But yeah, I'm sorry, it's just not the same.
You see what
But
bothers,
I enjoyed this.
what
yeah.
bothers me most about Guardians of the Galaxy is everyone's going, oh my god, this is the best Marvel film. And I'm sitting there going, well, if that's the best Marvel film, I'm quite glad I didn't bother watching all the others then, because quite frankly, if that's the best they've got to offer so far, then nothing else is going to kind of live up to it. Therefore,
Course.
it's going to be...
The brother of the artist creator of Rocket Raccoon is still fighting to get some money from that movie.
Yeah, I saw that as well.
Not for the usual reasons you'd expect. It's actually because he does feel that he's chasing after on behalf of his brother, who is still brain damaged from an accident many years ago.
Well,
oh.
the brain damaged brother, they actually arranged a special
Yeah, they
screening for him.
arranged a special screening.
And he
in his
absolutely
room.
loved it. He was in tears. He loved it.
But
But that's the
what,
thing,
what
I mean,
sort of
it's
brain damage are we
hilarious.
talking about?
And it's got some lovely
The kind that's
feel
mostly
moments
bedbound.
all the way through.
So he still has cognitive ability.
Yes, he does.
Okay.
But anyway,
Think
so
of it as a
that's
mini-stroke
Guardians
sort
of
of
the
style.
Galaxy. If you've not seen it, go out and get tickets and see it. It's well worth.
No, Pete, if you're a Marvel
Investing.
fan, definitely go out and see it. If you're a film of action movies,
If you're a fan of adventure,
yeah, and action, then you'd probably get a kick out of it too.
And a
so
fun film.
we can't just say adventure, it has to be adventure!
Adventure and action, then you'll probably get a kick out of it. It will lose a lot of it because you won't get some of the references unless you're a Marvel fan. But if you're not really into Marvel that much, it's an enjoyable couple of hours, but it's not what I would call a film to kind of write home about. It's a lot of cliches thrown together around a MacGuffin that you know nothing about, that apparently is this big awesome thing. It doesn't really display its big awesomeness apart from in a couple of scenes where it basically kills everything. And then at the end of it, all the main characters suddenly figure out how to use it without getting ripped to shreds and dead, as if by magic or something or whatever. And it's like, yeah, okay. So why is it ripping everyone to shreds except the lead character? Seems it takes a lot longer to rip him to shreds, and then if they all hold hands, it's all lovely.
Sounds like a Disney film with a Skyrim.
Yeah.
Well, there is.
It's
a
the
reason
power of
why
being a
he
white
was
male
able to
protagonist.
last longer.
Oh.
There was a reason why he was able to last longer.
It was like, yeah, here's a bit of Deus Ex Machina making us longer, yada yada yada. But the whole film was basically let's all chase the magical MacGuffin, and let's all now escape the people who were also chasing the magical MacGuffin because reasons. Oh, and here's some characters. We're going to throw like 3 paragraphs of backstory at the most for most of them, except for the lead character, because obviously you need to know everything about him because he's the lead character. But all the other characters, despite being infinitely better than him, they're going to get a couple of paragraphs, or in Rocket's case, like 4 lines of backstory. And despite that, Rocket is the one you probably associate with the most, because despite being one of the least fleshed out characters, he's one of the most emotive. I mean, woman features who just runs and enjoys the team is just, I'm angry green chick because reasons. And the blue guy's like, I'm angry blue guy because reasons that are very, very thinly explained. At least Rocket can emote in any way, shape or form. I mean, Groot's awesome, but he is a little bit lacking. You could say his acting was a bit...
Wooden!
Oh,
For God's sake.
no, that's not fair. Groot is actually quite good. But for a lot of it, yes, it could have benefited from being that little bit longer, so they could have put in a little bit more of the backstory, just so we could have actually felt more connected to these characters. Because aside from Rocket, I didn't give a shit, and Groot, I didn't give a shit if they lived or died at the end of the film. And since you go into it knowing there's a sequel, it takes all threat out of it, because you know they're going to live, because otherwise they won't be in the sequel. It's like, okay, why don't they announce the fact there's going to be a sequel long after this film has come out, instead of like virtually immediately, to keep the hype train going? Because it then ruins any kind of suspense for anyone who hasn't seen it yet, because you just know they're going to survive, because otherwise you've bollocks the sequel right up there and then.
Yeah, you kind of know that, like, okay, this character is at the very least going to survive.
Yeah, it's like most of those dodgy American fucking TV shows that Hedgie watches and gets so into. Is like, oh, there's so much threat and drama, and I'm going there going, yeah, he's going to survive because he's in the next episode. There is absolutely no threat, no tension, because you know they're all going to live.
Yeah, but he watches shitty, like, average he watches average dribble.
he watches
Whereas, like, if you
shit.
watch good shows, the suspense kind of is okay, but at the same time, you do go to yourself, but if they kill a character, they'll mess with the show's formula,
Yeah.
and therefore it won't be the same.
I mean, at the end of Toy Story 3, when they're all about to be incinerated, I was sat there going, they're not going to do this. They are not going to kill off all the characters now, because A, that'll kill all the children, but I cannot physically think of a way they're going to get out of this. And that made that ending really quite intense. Okay, yeah, then we kind of went the claw and Deus Ex Machina saved the day. But you're sat there going, how are you going to escape this? Pixar have really written themselves into a corner here. Something out off the wall has got to happen for them to survive this, because they are fucked.
I still need to watch Toy Story 3.
Sorry, I've totally spoiled it. Sorry.
That's cool. It's been quite some time.
It has been out for a long time.
Yes.
Just Sweden wrote one of those, you know.
And it was a case of, okay, yeah, Deus Ex Machina saves the day, but at least that was kind of a rewarding one. Whereas for a lot of these things, and Guardian of the Galaxy is included, they tried to put all this kind of tension and atmosphere in there for the ending. It's like, oh no, really big end battle. But it's like, yeah, but we know the sequel's out, and we know like most of these characters are going to be in the sequel, so they're going to survive it. A lot of the tension is lost. It's like, grr.
The trick to doing it is, even when we know they're going to be lost, just make us believe for half a second that they might not anyway.
Yeah, make us believe for at least half a second, or at least a minute even, if you can, that the sequel's going to feature different characters. Because these characters are expendable.
Indiana Jones on the broken bridge. You know he's not going to have his heart ripped out, but for that moment, that brief shiny moment.
Yeah, you're wondering, could he? And that's
Anyway,
what makes
that's-
this thing...
And then suddenly you
Guardian
realise
of
you're
the
watching the
Galaxy.
second worst Indiana Jones movie, and why the fuck aren't you watching Raiders or or the one with the Holy Grail?
Wasn't it Raiders of the Lost Ark as the film that would have panned out exactly the same way even if Indy had not been in it?
Pretty much, actually, yes. The Nazis get the Covenant, Nazis open the Covenant, Covenant melts their faces.
Indy does not need to be there in the slightest.
And I think Uncle Kage was there as well.
Anyway, that's Guardians of the Galaxy. Alex, you've got Octodad.
Yes, I do.
Or go and see a
Yeah.
doctor.
Sorry, I was just finishing off a text. Yes, Octodad. I recently saw it on the PlayStation 4 store, and
Yeah, and he bought it over New and Tasty. You cretin.
New and Tasty, 17 quid. I like Abe's Odyssey. I love the Abe like stories in Oddworld. But
I'm gonna force you to
$17.99.
watch a load of videos about everyone gushing over this game just to prove to you it's worth the money.
I will wait for a sale.
It's coming out on PS3 eventually, and Vita apparently.
Well, if it comes out on PlayStation 3, I'll probably buy it on there because it might be cheaper.
I
And
don't
it
know,
won't be
but
a-
hopefully it'll be support cross-buy, so I'll be all up in that shit if it does. But yes, Octodad.
Octodad, yes. So I brought it because it was, it's an interesting game. I've seen it at E3. I've seen it on the PC version before it was announced that they were doing it for PlayStation 4, the new one. The Deadliest Catch, because there's actually a game before it which I can't remember what it's called.
Was it just called Octodad?
No, it had a subtitle as well, I believe. Felix is going to look up for me.
Ha!
The original was just called Octodad.
Okay, maybe it was just called
Aha.
Octodad. Well,
I was right.
shit. Anyway, Octodad, you start off during the wedding scene of the lovely bride and groom, you being obviously Octodad, you're an octopus. And the game teaches you how to move around.
Well, you've missed the big important thing there, Alex.
Oh, what's that?
You're an octopus. No one knows.
Okay, yes. You are playing in a game world where you are an octopus in a suit. Nobody suspects that you're an octopus in a suit. Nobody notices anything different when you go about your daily business, even though you have a huge squid head.
But you're not a man.
And you have surprisingly good
chicken
posture
food.
for something with no backbone.
Yeah. You
Nick,
say...
Probably why he
Lessons.
keeps on, giving way to his wife at every single thing, because he has no spine.
Hey, Nick Clegg, we got a role model for you.
Okay, move on.
Yeah, so the basic premise of the game is to get through whatever's happening without sort of,
Giving it away.
giving away that you're an octopus. That's the base. That's basically what the game is. Actually, playing the game, you have to maneuver four. Well, I say four. It's three actually because you only control one arm. 3 octopus tentacle things, and you have L2 and R2 to move about, and it's R1 to pick up things. Now this sounds pretty easy, but when you have no spine.
I'm actually half tempted to spend my food budget next week to buy a second controller. And see what this co-op control scheme is like.
Oh god. Oh my god. That would be pretty funny to do like a little Let's Play or
Well,
something.
before you do that, I've got a Mega Drive game for you two. It's a Sonic ROM hack, and it'll teach you all about cooperation. Because while it's a Sonic ROM hack, one person controls Sonic, the other person controls the screen.
It's gonna be like every other dick that just decides to jump down and toe jam an Earl, isn't it?
Yes. So, of course, if Sonic goes off the screen, he dies. So whoever's controlling the screen has to be well tuned with whoever's controlling Sonic in order to keep Sonic alive.
That sounds kind of easy.
And you say us to why?
I say you two because if you're going to be trying co-op with Octodad, you're going to need to know how to work as a team.
There's also a part where we just look down at our attire and go, oh, right.
Yeah, that's... Since you are so well matched. But yes, Octodad.
Octodad. So first section of the game is your wedding. It's basically like having a sort of a flashback, dream-esque moment where you're going through the marriage to your loving wife. I can't remember her name.
Wasn't it?
I like how there's a
Because of
nice
an
bit of
S.
sort of anti-training going on there, because it's like, don't make a mess. But by the way, all the goodies are hidden under there, so we're encouraging you to make a mess later.
Yeah. so the base game is, get through the levels without,
Achieve
destroying
the
things.
objective.
But there are hidden bonuses around in the form of ties that your father can wear. Loving Octodad. To find these, some of them are in annoying places where you have to make a mess. Yes, as Peter's pointed out.
By
However-
the way, I'm calling dibs on titular Octodad as a band name.
It's quite fun actually playing Octodad because the control scheme seems piss easy. Okay. The first bit of the game with the tutorial where you're like dressing in the dressing room, putting on your tie and everything. It's like, okay, clear off the table. Okay, you do it with your arm. You hold R1 to move your arm solely.
Yep.
You just move it off like, right control stick, right analog stick rather. Off everything on the table. Oh, that wasn't too hard. Okay, now pick up the cushions and clear the table so you can get the key. Oh, okay, I get done that. That's pretty good. That's fine. All 3 cushions off. Picked up the key. Now put it into the slot. Okay, I'll just how does 3D work in this? It is so strange trying to get. Okay, anything in like 1 dimension or 2 dimension, it's fine. If I need to clean a mirror, that would be the easiest thing to do in that game. But to make things go forward and back, I wrapped my arm around my body trying to stick that key into the bloody hole. Yeah.
Evil game.
And then the game's like, okay, now here you can walk. Okay, well, you walk along for a bit. Okay.
Is walking with left
He's fine with
No.
X and Y, but the Z fucks him over every time.
Oh yeah.
The walking is done with R2 and L2, and if you hold one of them, your suckers keep you in place in the other one, where the other foot is. But you need to use the left. I think it's just the left one. I still haven't figured it out completely because it's just so weird. Left controls where you move it, so you want to stick it down somewhere. But then to lift up the other leg, you have to release and hold down the opposite shoulder button. And it's kind of weird when you want precision, but you can't quite get it. It's like, imagine if you lost an eye and you were trying to just do like the Ministry of Silly Walks everywhere.
That's what you end up looking like you're doing. It is a Ministry of Silly Walks game.
Yeah, if you don't know what Ministry of Silly Walks is, Monty Python just walking around like a
Google it.
bimbling
John
idiot.
Cleese is amazing in it.
Yes, he is. It's just the walking around makes the game. And I'm kind of glad because it is basically the game is you're an octopus. You're not supposed to be able to walk around easily. You are literally slipping and falling over things. You try and climb over things. You can actually climb up some things quite well because you're an octopus. As long as you get a foothold in somewhere, you can generally pull yourself up. You have no bone structure after all. You can go into some small gaps and everything. I think I went into a claw machine. What are they called? Where you pick up a prize.
They're generally called claw machines, actually.
Yeah, you've given it a pretty apt name there.
Okay. Yeah, you can literally go into one of them, take the prizes, go back out.
There are people who professionally play those things.
I know.
I'm not kidding.
I know.
What makes me laugh is the people who think they're good at them. You're not good at them. They are rigged. I know. I worked for an
However,
arcade.
When you have no bones and can squeeze through a 2-inch diameter circle,
Then,
those
yeah,
games are easier, aren't they,
much
Alex?
easier.
Yes. But there's some interesting things with the walking mechanics because there is so much shit around and you're not allowed to break anything whenever people are watching you. And it's a line of sight. You can tell when they're watching you because there's dots on you.
Yeah.
You are like, okay, I have to move slowly, and it's so hard to make precise movements with the octopus. Octodad.
he mastered the socially awkward shimmy.
Yes, shimmying is actually the easiest way to get around in that game because you're like tiptoeing left and right and then what. But then if you do it too much, his legs just start splitting, and it's like.
The game's like, no, I can see what you're doing, and fuck you.
Well, the way the game's like, physics engine works, it's like, oh well, okay, at some point something's gonna fuck up, and you're just gonna lose balance. But it's really when bananas and puddles are around, and you like accidentally walk into one, slip, and you go flying across half the screen into like a bunch of melons.
I will say about your controlling, you did very well in the obstacle course in the kelp section of the game. That adventure castle type thing, you performed admirably. Despite
apart from the hole.
Yeah, the hole was hilarious. I wish we were capturing that. That was brilliant.
Obstacle course in the game where physics is pretty fucked and it's difficult to control a character. It's like easier to control a Resident Evil 1 character.
Especially his vocalizations of plaintive disbelief that he could not get through the hole.
Yeah, I really wish we were recording that because that was just brilliant.
Octodad has definitely made me go like, no, go, get in there. I have never been so vocal about a game in that way.
I have heard noises that I usually only hear from the bedroom wall at 2 a.m.
I got a question.
When he's playing fighting games, of course.
Would you think you'd get the same experience from Octodad if you were playing on your own without anybody around to watch?
I think I would, but I wouldn't be vocal about it. But in my head, I would definitely be going. I might start mumbling to myself, "You bastard!"
Because from what I've seen of it, Octodad's comedy seems to work really well when there's one player and people watching.
Yes.
And a soul for ex-viewers.
You know people are watching, therefore you're like, I can't mess up, but it's inevitable. And when you do something wrong, you're like, no, I can save this. And they're just going, oh, yeah. Like that bit in the obstacles, again, I'll just quickly explain. I walked up a bit and I nearly fell off. I had like one of the tentacles on the edge of this platform and I'm like, no.
Massive overcorrection in other direction.
Yes.
Massive overcorrection in the first direction.
So much I nearly fell off one way and then nearly fell off again the other way.
And then he recovered himself and fell down 2 steps later. You almost made it to the back left corner as well. It was great.
Yeah, he actually did really well. If you watch NerdCube's video on Octodad, that is catch, and you will see how he managed that assault course. Very, very differently. And yeah, it is hilarious. It's very much a game that you can enjoy it watching as much as the person playing it can enjoy it.
Yeah.
It is a thoroughly, thoroughly brilliant game in that respect. But I'm hijacking your review, Alex.
Oh, that's fine. The other main point about the game is that there is a sushi chef who is constantly after you to reveal that you're an octopus and to turn you into sushi. You spend a lot of the game actually avoiding him.
He's very doofenshmirtzy.
Yes.
And he's traptastic.
Hence why I said doofenshmirtzy.
Aha.
I still don't understand why Octodad is like, in the mall section of the game, or the shopping centre.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, there's free sushi samples at the back. And he decides to go.
Blah, 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 blah. I want to get free sushi samples.
Yeah, basically.
It's like, surely that's kind of like cannibalism. It's like...
Well, they are predatory.
You're seafood. Why would you want seafood samples when you're seafood?
The octopi have octopodes. I've got the crushable beak things of evil.
You don't know what's in the sushi. It could be another octopus. They don't eat each other, do they?
Yes, but sometimes you get one that doesn't reciprocate, and it's kind of weird.
Oh, you learn how kelp breed. It's educational as well.
Well, we learned how a 2 out of 3 kelp breed.
Yeah, with a little bit of help from Octodad.
But from what I've played, and I've nearly finished it anyway, so I'm just going to assume that I can give a proper review about it. It's been very enjoyable, and I will definitely actually play it again just to it be stupid and to have fun, because it's actually fun to play it and just run around like an idiot and to put hats on or crowns, or put glasses on
and ties.
And the comedy is actually quite sound as well. The stupid
Would
sounds.
Would you ever
that
go
happen.
for 100% run?
I think I actually wouldn't mind doing all the trophies because it'd let me play it more. It's one of those games where it's like, well, I've completed it. I have no real reason to play it again other than to just mess about. But there's these trophies here that give me things. They give me tasks to aim for. It's one of the few places where trophies are actually good because it's like, it lets me experience the game in different ways. And I want to play the game again. I just need a reason.
Here's your reason.
Yeah, here's a task. Oh, okay. Cool. As long as they're not stupid trophies, and they haven't been. I think I've earned like 4 trophies in the whole playthrough I've made so far.
Yeah, they've
Yeah,
not been like-
you've basically got you've reached a milestone in the story trophies so far.
Yeah, basically.
And I think you got 1 or 2 that you just did by
by accident.
flailing.
Yeah, I'm sure I've done something random that gave me a trophy.
In fact, no matter how practiced you are, the game is pretty much 90% random flailing.
And hoping for the best.
Hoping that you grab on at the right point. Hoping that you don't
Just the beginning key bit is like a all-night bender simulator of trying to get the key into the front fucking door.
Yes, that is an accurate way to describe the game. A drunken simulator.
I wondered why all the women were just so weirdly proportioned with that really thin waist.
America.
Beer goggles!
And now you know.
Yeah.
The family as well for Octodad, like the wife and the kids are actually, they're funny. They're actually funny. Like the kids aren't annoying.
The little girl's the most fucked up one from the beginning.
Yeah.
But in a good way.
Yeah, let's go with that. Like some of her offhand comments are actually slightly scary and worrying.
But yeah,
You're looking at me as if you've got an example.
they are not annoying. It's like you get some kids in games where they're just piteous, whiny ass.
So why are you in
annoyances.
this game? I don't actually
Yeah.
need you to. This is not enhancing my experience.
Are you enhancing the story? No. Are you Jason?
I swear to God,
No.
the first escort mission we have, you're getting nommed.
Jason!
But
Jason!
but the children, when you do the missions with them in the aquarium, which is the main part of the game, it seems.
And the kelp farm.
Yeah, it's actually it's pretty fun to just like mess around with him because it's you're actually like their father. It's pretty fun.
You're doing dad things.
You're doing dad things with them.
While as an octopus.
Yeah.
You can imagine being dad's a lot easier in real life.
Yeah.
That sentence went in wrong places, TK, by the way.
In your head, yes. It's 'cause
You're
a
doing
bad
dad things
Yeah.
and you're an octopus.
Yep.
A sentence that went to horrible places. Must be a show ending in a number.
Aha.
But I would recommend anybody who wants to play Octodad, the Dadliest Catch. So you either get it for the PC or you get it for PlayStation 4. Highly recommended. It is enjoyable. I can't think of a way that if you look at the game and you look at the art style and you think to yourself, that looks pretty good, you are probably going to enjoy this game. Even if you just like look at the art style and go, well, the trailer's
There's
out.
a lot
If you
of
like that,
model reuse, but that's okay.
yeah.
One of the things I did like about it is it seemed to have a really solid camera.
Yeah,
Yeah,
surprisingly so.
You can't control the camera, but the camera has never been in a position where I've been like, you bastard, stop being there.
It seems to be a really solid, really well engineered and thought out camera, which is quite nice because I can imagine that game being an absolute shit to play if it had a bad camera.
Yeah.
And now it's just frustratingly awesome.
Well, apart from one spot, but there's no way there could have been a good camera angle there.
Where-
The
Oh, is that on
assault
the
course, the whole.
Was that on the ship?
No, the assault course on the whole.
Oh, that was a
Yeah.
brilliant camera placement. That was hilarious.
Well, it switched between them at just the right level, but when you're actually above from the camera and trying to work a leg through, there's no
Yeah, we
right
couldn't
way
see
you
a
could have
leg.
gotten that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, yes, I recommend it highly. Highly. So I would assume that we move over to Fearless now.
Yes.
What, TK has nothing?
No, it's 10 o'clock now, so I think it's time
Yeah.
for Fearless Starter.
So, running through these quickly, we have the Kickstarter events that have ended now. Simon's Cat in Off to the Vet reached £311,000. That's £311,094.
Excellent, so we're getting that.
Fully funded.
Woohoo!
Gravia Tactics finished with 3,000 of its 120,000 goal. Oh well.
So not fully funded.
No. Moving on to the
No
ones
way.
that are just about to finish. Ninja Pizza Girl have reached 33,000 Australian dollars of their 35,000 Australian dollar goal.
So only a couple of grand left.
Only a
Not far
couple
away.
of grand left.
Not far to
Yeah.
go. Not far to go.
The Whole Story have reached 24,000 of their 10,000 goal.
So they're funded.
Yep. After Reset, nobody cares about that here, do they?
What was that again? Sorry.
This
You
is what
talk-
you get.
You talk about all of these shit games, and then you talk about the one that might
I
actually have
talk about a
some
range of things that are actually interesting.
The whole story is not interesting.
Yes,
No.
a fun little adventure game premise.
No, we've talked about this before. I will.
Bad
Nope.
fix.
Bad.
After reset, with 9 days left to go, they have 68,000 of the 35 they need.
So they're funded.
Last week's Fritz, a video game about World War One. 15 days left still. We have 7 grand out there, 15. Nearly 8 grand.
Not bad.
Not bad at all. And that's all of the things we've already had.
We had a lot of things.
So we have 3 new ones this week.
Ooh.
The first being Night Trap Revamped.
Yay.
I will... Fucking hell, how big is that goal? Jesus.
Jeebus.
29 days left. They require 333... No. Is that... No, $330,000.
That's not that much.
They have 5,000.
Really?
Yes.
That's picking up. They only had 2.5 the last time I looked. And that was, what, 3 hours ago? That's promising.
This is the... one of the original full motion video games of the 90s.
Back on the Mega CD. Did you know originally it was going to be a VHS game?
Did you do the
How
thing?
the hell are they going to do that as a VHS game?
Oh my god, no! Is this the Mega Drive game?
Yeah, that's
Yes.
the old Mega Drive game where you're watching the girls trying to save them from the vampires.
Oh, you mean the one where there's the controversial in the bathroom
Yeah,
shit?
yeah.
Kinda.
It wasn't all that
The
controversial.
ones
You
where
actually watched
everything
it.
after that was pretty much either a really badly plot hole, continuity void, rail shooter style game, or the other ones that all just wanted to be softcore porn for them 12-year-old boys.
Yep. But Night Trap was,
Was what kicked it all off.
yeah, but it was a lot more tasteful than all the gaming media were giving it credit for. It's just, back in those days, you hadn't seen visuals like that, so it was shocking and new. Whereas
Yeah.
these days, it's just a silly, campy horror romp with an aspect of voyeurism as you're keeping an eye on the house via kind of fake, close-up pitch.
You want I should
TV,
read some of
CCTV.
the pitch?
Oh, God, then reads the pitch.
A group of teens has arrived at the isolated Martin home for a weekend of fun and partying. But at a house where the sinister hosts possess strange powers, a creepy neighbor has invented a deadly laser weapon, and blood-sucking creatures stalk the hallways. It's no surprise that good cheer quickly turns to fear.
Dun-dun-dun.
Fortunately for the girls, the heroic agents of the Special Control Attack Team are on the job. As a crack scat operative with a security camera guided view of all the action, it's your job to trigger the traps planted throughout the house and imprison the evil augurs before they can suck the blood of their innocent victims.
The Augurs is the name of the half-vampire family running the house.
That makes more sense. I just thought it was the name of the vampires in general in this
No,
series.
it's the family name. I've played this game. It's fun. It's fucking hard, but it's fun.
He says fun.
It is fun. I mean, if you enjoy kind of cheesy horror, kind of, well, horror-esque,
Do you remember how much it cost originally?
a lot of money. It was filmed on 35mm film. So,
Well, it's also created for apparently a never-released interactive TV platform.
yeah.
So that's why I got
That
the
was
money
the
from. That's the 27 million sinkhole that wanted to compete with NES.
Yeah, that was the VHS-based system. But that was never going to work.
Uh,
Never in a month of Sundays was that going to work.
So they're recreating it, or is it?
I think they're restoring all the old original footage from what I can gather.
Oh no, the included is the documentary which has been transferred from VHS.
Yeah, that's what they're talking about.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Why?
The documentary was quite interesting. I saw that on YouTube.
Dangerous Games is the name of the documentary.
Dun-dun-dun. But yeah, I enjoyed it, and I want to see it again, given a chance to look at it in nice shiny graphics as opposed to the horrible pixelated Mega Drive Mega CD graphics. And it is cheesy camp fun, but it does have a pop song in there that was recorded for the game. Well, then you called it a film. Then
Well, let's see.
you could actually watch the entire film.
Quite a
of-
few of the $100 backer things have left.
Really?
Of the different tiers, yeah. On every single $100 tier, the different ones.
Wow.
Or is it just the same tier over and over? 63 left. Oh, sorry, yeah, some of them have gone. Some of them are just saying still 63 left instead of...
Yeah,
Let's see here.
there's still some left of some.
None of the high tiers have gone yet that I can see. The thing is that they have multiple tiers at the same price, which means scrolling through all this stuff and trying to list any of it
fucking hard.
is something I'm not even willing to try. But let's go to the end. If you do pledge $10,000,
You're crazy.
you get a single card opening credit as executive producer of the game,
Oh,
as well as a
sweet.
copy of the limited edition box set. Like,
Ooh.
box set?
How the fuck are they? What?
Box set.
Yeah, I heard you.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, why am I... No, the box set is only... Oh, there we go. The box set is 4 copies of the game itself for each platform, PC, Mac, PlayStation, and Xbox.
Ah.
A CD of the theme song, a copy of Jim Riley's shooting script, complete with notations, the original design document laying out a timeline of the game events, which will help you follow the story, production stills taken during filming, an essay by Digital Pictures co-founder Tom Zito describing the creation of the game.
What you're reading now is actually more.
Oh, the deluxe limited edition box set.
Yes.
It was the first.
The limited edition box set is basically all 4 types of the game for different formats. PC,
Yeah,
Xbox,
thing is, all of the
PlayStation.
upper tier ones go the limited edition box set, but the lowest price one is the deluxe limited edition box set. Why?
I don't know.
Did I just get tired of writing the word deluxe over and over and say, that word just looks weird to me now?
Don't
It doesn't look like a word anymore.
This is like that time I said towel too many times in one paragraph. Move on.
Are we
Move
actually
on.
getting anywhere with
How
this,
much are
by
they
the way?
wanting for it again?
He said, as I
300
close, 330,000.
Ah, okay.
Yes.
The next game is Jenny Leclue, a mystery adventure game where you control the narrator. Strangely enough, there seems to be a lot of this whole escape from, control the, or the narrator is evil games coming out at the moment. Why?
Ah.
Because?
I have to scroll all the way down to be able to get to. It's got a weird little art style to it. Have I put it in channel already or not?
Yes,
Yay.
because that's what I'm using to get all the links to put on the website.
Yeah. So it's one of those things where you play as Jenny Leclue, a young detective. But there's also a meta game with which you have the narrator and the guide who can affect the outcome of the story.
Okay.
And it's a very not kid-friendly game at all.
Which makes
How
it even
not
better.
kid friendly?
Like, you see how the game looks? How kid-friendly the game looks in all those nice, cheery production stills?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Not that.
not that.
Ah,
Yeah.
moving on.
Next Kickstarter.
Yeah, it's just one of those little mystery games that I looked at the synopsis for the story and went, ah, I want to play that. I will make all of you fund this. They've only been going for 10 days. It's funded, by the way. It is so funded already. It doesn't mean we can't have stretch goals, right?
Yes, it does.
Okay, and the final game of the night is Hard West. A tactical Weird West game. It plays like XCOM. Looks like... Oh, what was that old Western game series? The tabletop one.
That's helpful.
I don't know.
Uh...
I will probably think of the name just after you say it. But by then it'll be too late.
Deadlands!
Nope, I would never have thought that.
Deadlands.
Oh. Yeah. It just looks like it's they've already got the bits of the game they've got running, and all of it looks very high quality. And it's
Sounds
made
like
by pretty much actually the guys that made most of the original Call of Juarez games.
Ah.
So they haven't actually given us much of a moment. They have said basically it is a weird West world. There are shadows, out there. There are nightmarish creatures. By the way, anybody can die in a pretty much one hit.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
So remember all those
Deadlands-
times where you cursed XCOM?
Yeah.
Prepare to relive it.
Even more. But then they have got some nice little things where, seeing as it is set in a slightly supernatural world, you can have all sorts of weird weapons and gun tricks you can do. You can do the wanted bullet curve. You can ricochet things off of everything if you need to.
Well, the world, the role-playing world, because it's based on a role-playing game, is actually quite interesting. There's a lot of interesting little things, and it was the one that Savage Worlds, the game system, actually came from. So you remember playing the Savage World setting?
Yep.
This
Well,
is
I
the
don't,
game
but
where that came from. The rule setting came from, because originally it was poker cards, and you played with poker hands in the role-playing game. So
Interesting.
it's a very good setting.
And have I already put this in channel? Sorry, I've been putting things in channel and then not remembering that I put the things in the channel.
Yeah, they're in channel because I've now managed to get them onto the website for the podcast.
Alzheimer's.
It's like Insimers, but different.
It's going to be on PC originally, but they're pretty confident that Mac and Linux support is going to be added in tomorrow's stretch goal. No, added as a stretch goal tomorrow. They're halfway there, pretty much. They've reached 31,000 Canadian dollars, or £5.73 GBP.
Ooh.
Right,
And they only want 70,000, which is about £8.23 GBP.
You have obsession with 23.
It's coming up a lot today, isn't it?
23
They
times.
want 70,000 Canadian dollars. They've got 31,000 with 25 days left to go. Given the quality of what they've shown us, what they've described to us, I think that would easily reach goal.
Oh, probably. Quite probably.
Some of your early backer rewards are for $1 you just get a thank you in the game credits. Your standard $10 to get the game, plus your thanks in the credits thingy. 15. Oh yeah.
Anything else?
You get a Steam key limited discount on release for $10, and then $15 you get a Steam key on release.
Anything else?
No, that's all that I have. Bung out.
Awesome. I think we need to wrap
Yes,
things
it is
We
quarter
really
past the hour.
I need to eat today.
Eating's a thing.
I know.
I've got a thing in the fridge to cook.
I've had a
dinner.
pack of giant crumpets just taunting me all weekend.
I've been eating salt and vinegar and ready salted squares because they're tasty. Om nom nom squares. Squares are the best thing. Fucking love them. But yes, that brings us to the end of the show on a rather random topic, salt and vinegar squares. So on that note, is a good night from the Xavier.
Good night.
A good night from the Angel Dark Song.
Good night.
A good night from the Felis.
Good night.
And a good night from myself, TK. Thank you very much for watching and listening to this enjoyable show. As a little fun fact, I've been looking through the server stats for the radio logs, for the actual live podcasting that we do, for those not watching the YouTube but listening to the audio instead. Our highest listener count, and person who listens the most, comes from the Ukraine. We are more popular in the Ukraine on the audio feed than we are in England. England came third after the Ukraine and India.
You guys are terrible.
Ah.
So hello to all our international listeners.
We is international
What
up
the
in this
hell are you
studio.
doing listening to this crap?
Oh, speaking of international, should we close on one thing?
Well, we close on the national anthem. We close that on every week.
I was
That's
going to
not-
say,
that's-
you've heard the Nigeria news, right?
About
No.
Ebola.
About the ex-president treasury guy being found with $380 million in offshore accounts everywhere. The spam emails were true! All of them!
Not sure about all of them, but there you go. On that note, it's night-night, everybody.
Night, night.
Night.